And welcome in, everybody. We are here. We are live, and you guys can see our faces finally. Sorry about that. Took me a second to
Dude,
pop
I was
over
gonna
the.
say that felt like an eternity to me. I'm like,
I gotta kick it into the correct portion of the song, man. Like I can't let our banger of an intro song not have its fucking moment to shine.
it's
You
true.
know,
It's
like
true.
we got it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We got
Hey,
to.
it's
Bro.
all right. It's episode 83. You know what that means, bro?
It
What
is
does that
episode
mean?
83. What does that mean?
It's one episode after 82.
That's
Hell yeah.
that is
Let's go.
factually accurate. That
Woo.
is correct. I thought you were gonna pull out some kind of. It's
It's
episode 83, man. We gonna go ski, bro. I don't know. Let's go, baby. I don't know.
Slow news week. I don't know.
But yes,
It's
it
83.
is episode 83. Pre-patch podcast every week, Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You guys know right where to get it on our Twitch, our YouTube. You know where we are. We're in the same place every fucking week. We don't go too far, except for Sinan,
No.
who again still not feeling that well. So if you guys could please give him as much love and as many good wishes and get well soons as you can in the chat. We again,
Hey.
just like last week, are monitoring him the entire time live for your viewing pleasure.
It's getting real close to me requesting a doctor's note here soon, though.
Bro,
I'm just
I
saying.
I think it's accurate, man. Like I'm not paid to be the producer. Like that is entirely his job. The fact that we don't pay him it doesn't factor
Yeah, we're
in.
not questioning that.
Like
Yeah.
that's not a part of the fucking deal, right? But yeah, like 100%, man. Like I know you just about died and everything like that, but like come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, bro. Just
podcast.
suck it up. Roll around a little bit. You'll be all right.
We love you, Sim. Feel better.
Love you, buddy.
Kisses.
Yeah, we hope you get feeling better, bud. But yeah, as we said, episode 83, pre-patch podcast. We got some pretty good topics to talk about. It is a bit of a
Yeah.
slow week this week. I will put that out there 100%. Was a
But
little bit
they're
of a slow
fun
fucking news
topics.
week this week. But yeah, we, as I said on Twitter, I think it was on Twitter at least. We're fucking masters of derailing. Like
Yeah.
we can take one topic and stretch that bitch out for 45 minutes, bro. Like 100%. We got this, bro.
Mhm.
That's true. Truth.
So, but yeah, that's just, hopefully everybody's having a good week. Hopefully you guys have had a good week. If you
Been a
did, if
very
you have
long
not,
week. Yes.
catch
Yeah,
up on the
a little bit.
podcast. We got the latest podcast, episode 82 is up on the Spotify, up on the Apple podcast, up on the Apple Music. I don't know where the fuck it's at. We got like 7 different locations that you
It's
can find it
everywhere,
at.
I
man.
do know one centralized location, and that's anchor.fm/pre-patch podcast.
Wow. Took the
That's it.
words right out of my mouth, man. Like legitimately just reached in there, fisted my mouth and grabbed it, bro.
Whew.
Stand on
Wow.
Thursday.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Indeed. We are not on the after dark portion, Bill. We can't
Yeah,
be doing
I was
that
gonna
kind of shit,
say.
bro.
We're getting a little taste of what they can
Well,
get
yes.
after the show.
Anchor.fm/pre-patch podcast. You can find it on all the locations right there. You can also find it on our Twitch, our YouTube, everything. We got some great content up on the YouTube this past week, in my personal opinion, at least.
No, it's been some
It's
of our
been
some
some
of our more
solid
fun
stuff.
conversations.
Some really
yeah.
solid
Yeah.
conversations. So if you guys have not, go over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, click that bell, fucking bam, smash it, whatever it is. I don't know what YouTubers do these days.
I know what people on YouTube are having trouble doing right now, and that's blocking ads. If
That
they want
is-
to go right into the news.
That is
Right
very
into the
true.
news right there.
Right into the news. You taking again, bro. Taking the words
Dude,
right out of
Listen,
my
I
fucking
see
mouth,
a
bro.
segue, and I go for it.
You see
I'm
a
just saying,
segue,
put Bill as the main host right now.
right?
man.
I think
Dude,
we
Bill's
should, man.
killing it.
Bill's the
Oh,
new
God,
host,
no.
man.
I didn't sign up for that.
Well,
Neither did Enigma.
if we, I did not. If we're gonna go into the YouTube news right off the bat, I need to swap off of PewDiePie's lovely face. But yes, 100% YouTubers, not all of them, not all YouTube users, at least from what I can tell. From what I understand, it's a very select few. They're YouTube is really good about this. Whenever they bring out like sweeping changes that they're not really
Yeah.
sure that the entire community is going to be all that happy about, right? Like
or they know damn well.
or
that
they
the
know
community
damn
is
well that
not
the community 100%. But they do it really well, where they just kind of sneakily, just kind of push that in there for like a certain select few, But yeah, they've pushed out a new initiative on their website that basically certain people are finding that their ad blockers are no longer working, and they're getting a lovely little pop-up that says ad blockers are not allowed on YouTube. It looks like you may be using an ad blocker. Ads allow YouTube to stay free for billions of users worldwide. You can go ad-free with YouTube Premium, and creators can still get paid from your subscriptions. And then you have the option of either allowing YouTube ads or to try Premium. That's what you get.
Basically, they give you the option to whitelist or buy.
Yeah,
it only took them like a decade plus to do this. I'm surprised, honestly, it didn't come sooner.
We were talking in the podcast Discord, and this is very similar to about 5 years ago when Twitch started their war against the ad blocker.
Well, we talked about it last week.
Well, not 5 years ago, probably like 2-ish.
I would argue that the ad blocker was originally developed in mind of YouTube.
It was. 100%. Yeah.
So this is surprising to me that we're only just now seeing this.
And again, we talked about it last week on last week's episode. That's ad revenue for YouTube has been skyrocketing. It's been plummeting, or not skyrocketing, I should say plummeting.
The other way.
The other way. But it's been plummeting like crazy. They've been having a lot of issues with what's the word I'm looking for? They're monetizing, monetizing off of advertisers or off of advertisements for people that are assumingly ad blocking. I don't think that it's
right.
I don't even think assumingly is a word, but we'll go with it. It's probably a good portion to do with ad blockers, but I think for the most part, like we talked about it last week, that I'm almost curious. Just like you said, like this reminds me very heavily of what happened on Twitch like 2 years ago, right? What happened on Twitch was the original push was like, okay, we need to start getting advertisements. We need to start pushing those advertisements. So the original push was, well, we'll go for the low-lying fruit, right? We'll go for the low-hanging fruit. Ad blockers are going to be the easiest way for us to kind of circumvent that and get more people to see advertisements on our platform, right? A sound judgment. It's very astute. I somewhat agree with them. Didn't work out for him that well.
So they forced it everywhere.
In the long run, it did not work out for them there very well. I think I said it in the podcast chat. Like, no matter how hard you fight against ad block developers, you will never win. Like,
nah, they too fast.
There is no way that you will ever win. Like Twitch got pretty close. Like, honestly, Twitch, they're pretty quick. Like the ad block developers would like develop a fix for them, and within like a week or two, Twitch had another another fix to counteract the fix that the ad blockers had put in.
Right. And it's still an ongoing battle.
And it's still an ongoing battle. 100%. It's still an ongoing battle. Twitch has started to, in some instances, kind of give up on it. I think I haven't seen. Don't crucify me. I do use ad blockers. I don't like seeing ads on my Twitch and my YouTube. YouTube, please don't come after me. Please don't do it, YouTube. But yeah, no, 100%. Like I have not seen any issues with like ad block on Twitch as of late. Granted, cool. I use a very like sophisticated ad block that's like almost customized to me as well. Like that I've also customized myself.
Well, aren't you fancy of your sophisticated ad blocker?
That could be a good portion of it. But yeah, it's interesting to see the similarities going on between these two companies, and I've said it a couple of times in the past.
Made Twitch start doing that was because their ad revenue was dropping drastically. Correct?
Yeah.
From what we remember, it was either their ad revenue was dropping or they weren't getting enough ad revenue. I can't remember which one it was.
Well, either way, same thing here, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just hope they don't continue on with the Twitch route of things, where when the ad blocking fighting didn't work, they just started like forcing more to like, okay, well, we can't fight it, so we might as well double it for the people that do not run ad blocker.
Yeah, and that's
they've still yet to mandatorily put it into live streams. That would be one of the biggest.
That's going to be,
in my opinion.
That's going to be the biggest one that I see.
Force them into live streams, because as of right now, it's completely optional for the creator
Yeah.
to put ads on there if they're
because we were
monetized.
talking about it last week that you were telling me that it's an optional thing to do like pre-roll ads or whatever they call them
Right.
over on YouTube, right? So that's
As
one
of right now.
and that's one of the scariest parts for me, and then that I'm looking at, because again, I'm looking at this in the eyes of like somebody that's been through it already on Twitch, right? Like this is how it started,
Yep.
you know, and I'm a little worried about it, but I'm hoping that YouTube, this little test thing that they go for, is going to kind of open their eyes, and it's not going to work. Like YouTube, it's not going to work. You're never going to win against. You're
Yeah.
never going to, like, you've got Google, you've got Daddy Google money and Daddy Google developers behind you, but I still don't think they're good enough to beat AdBlock developers.
I mean, like,
I'm
even if it does happen, it's just like I'm more so like thinking like it won't be as bad as Twitch, because YouTube has like, you know, the skippable ads, and I don't think it'll
Yeah.
be like an adpocalypse
Well,
like you or like
and
Twitch does, where it's
that's
just
the
like
good
spams
parts.
of eight-part ads, you know, like that's
Yeah.
just too much.
That's
crazy.
that's the kind of like redeeming part of YouTube's advertisements, is that at least they don't give you 7 unskippable fucking advertisements at
Yeah.
the start of a stream. You know?
Yeah.
Yet, I should say yet. Well,
Who knows?
we'll
but-
asterisk that with yet. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know if YouTube would ever do that, because they've always been the kind of the company that you can skip the ads after a certain amount. So it'd be kind of
And that's
interesting
also
to see.
something that the creator is able to control.
True.
There's a button that has skippable ads and non-skippable ads. I always take the non-skippable ads off because they're obnoxious. So.
They are obnoxious,
Yeah.
man. Like
Very.
just what the only thing that I can say to YouTube is just don't, if you take anything from Twitch recently, don't go down the Twitch route where literally you step into a stream and you've got 8 ads that you can't skip.
Yeah.
Like that's not a good thing. Like that's not helping you. That's hindering you, because
Yeah.
then
No,
your
that's-
viewers don't want to watch your fucking content.
That's the best way to finish and kill off their live streaming.
It is 100%.
The biggest thing that concerns me about the way that they're doing this, though, is the last thing that they did in this style, where it was like kind of a small rollout, was when they were doing the warning messages at the start of streams, saying that this stream has not been, or this channel has not been live or alive for long enough. We're not, like, just having that bubble pop up instead of actually going to the stream. It
Interesting.
was
I
when
didn't know they did that.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half ago
remember
when they were
that.
limiting views to live streams because the channel hadn't been around for long enough.
Weird.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's such YouTube's has such a weird, like,
it went away eventually.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand
It's
whose idea that was to be like, hey, let's just put an entire fucking bubble before people could even look at it. Like I don't
it's like they're so scared. Like they're stepping on
it was
glass.
during the time when they were scared of
Yeah.
random
bots and
accounts
shit.
popping up and spreading something like bad.
Huh.
Because I think that was around the time that we had that mass shooter that broadcasted on Twitch.
Yeah.
Wow, the store, the supermarket.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think it was
I get
around
it.
that scare time. So they didn't want people just making accounts to do horrible things on and just throw away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It was
It's-
also potentially around political stuff too. They didn't want random political stuff popping up. But
Yeah.
that's a
It's
conversation for a different day.
It's a strange
Yeah.
one. The biggest thing that I can say with them is like they're trying to push this YouTube premium, and that's great. I don't know exactly what the premium subscription is. I know that it gives you music. You get access to YouTube Music, if I remember correctly. I believe you get offline downloads and 1080p of some sort. Like I think you can download it 1080p. I don't know. We
Yeah.
were talking about
Yep.
this literally just the other day for that, weren't we?
Adds free viewing and background play downloads, YouTube Music Premium. And I think there's a higher tier that gets you something extra, but I'm not 100% sure what
And-
it is.
So wait, what do you mean here, Bill, when you say that you get a cut for premium users?
I don't know how it works, but I do whenever I go into my monetization tab, there
Yeah.
is a ticker that shows YouTube Premium and how much I made off of YouTube Premium viewers watching content.
It's
So
interesting.
it is
That's-
factored in. It's not from people getting YouTube Premium while they're watching my channel.
watching,
It's
yeah.
simply it
So
says
it's not
YouTube Premium
memberships.
viewers. No, it's based
Okay.
off of a viewer with YouTube Premium watching the content, and I do get a
See,
cut from
and
that.
that's
So,
what
which is
I was gonna
interesting.
bring up is like I think that all if they want to push this YouTube Premium subscription, I think that what they need to start doing is moving more into a direction of like Twitch Prime in a certain
Yeah, I
aspects
was
where
literally
you
just gonna say that.
those free membership every month. And I think that honestly,
Yeah.
if you gave
They
people
had
the
that
ability
back
to
in the
do that,
day.
well, if they brought it back, I think they would see a lot more people go with Premium.
100%. I think
Yeah.
when YouTube Premium first started being a thing, that was one of the things that was included in it, or it was like a temporary, like holiday based thing.
Yeah.
And then they took it away. I
That
know it was a
100%
short lived
should
thing.
be a thing.
It was like a 4-month period where they had that on there.
Yeah. I just I think that if they're going to take anything away from the recent Twitch controversies and the recent Twitch drama, like those two things, if they're going to emulate anything, Twitch Prime would be a big one because that's a huge deal on Twitch. And then
Just the interface in
just
general.
the interface on, well, there are three things: the interface in general, the Twitch Prime or the YouTube Prime, whatever you want to call it, and then
Yeah.
don't overload your streamers and your streams with unskippable ads. Like
The
it
good
doesn't
thing about
do anything for them.
The good thing about YouTube is I think they have enough other avenues because they already have ads on regular videos and shorts. I don't think they need to advertise on live streams as heavily. I don't think it's as big of a priority because at this point, still
At the
live
moment,
streaming is
yeah.
the lowest viewership out of the different methods of viewership on
No.
YouTube. It's still videos primarily, shorts secondarily, and live streams last. So
Well,
Yeah.
well,
I wouldn't
speaking
doubt if live streaming ever pops off, they would add ads.
yeah.
speaking of video format on YouTube, we're moving to PewDiePie on Twitch. Does that make sense? moving right into Twitch news. Twitch banned PewDiePie off of the streaming service, even though he wasn't actually streaming. We don't really understand. We don't really know why. We don't really know how.
It was a weird situation.
There's a
Him,
few.
as in him himself was not streaming, but his account.
His account was streaming, but he himself was not at his seat doing a live stream.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't entirely know what the hell happened. There's a lot of people that are speculating that it wasn't actually PewDiePie doing anything. It was another company called Copilot Media. I'm not entirely sure what Copilot Media is. I'm assuming that's some kind of. There's a lot of people saying that he got hacked essentially. So I'm assuming that that's what happened. It was just kind of a weird because they were restreaming old content from his YouTube channel, but also like streaming like Trailer Park Boys and like
It's
just
so
weird,
random.
just like weird,
It's
just a very strange situation. So from what we can understand and from what it's looking like, they banned the account for a short time just to kind of get whatever the hell was going on fixed, and for the simple fact that Twitch doesn't really allow restream content all that much. Twitch is like TOS is a little weird about that.
There's some weird loopholes that people do. Like there's obviously like 24/7 like lo-fi channels and like otter animal channels, but like other than that, it's like the restreamed like just automated stuff.
Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that it was restreamed from YouTube?
I don't think that has anything to do with it
You
myself.
don't think so?
I
Just
was
maybe
under
the
the impression that
content.
PewDiePie was like aware that like he approved the.
I don't think he's said anything
go.
about it. Like I don't think he even knows. Like I mean, I'm sure he knows now, but yeah, I don't think that from what I'm reading on this, he wasn't even aware. Like he wasn't aware.
I don't even think he was ever really prominent on streaming.
He doesn't.
Twitch.
Yeah, he's never really done streaming.
He's never.
content.
Yeah.
So it's just a weird one. I find it funny that literally the last like 4 episodes, it's just been Twitch news has just been nothing but like high profile streamers being banned.
It has been, hasn't it? Yeah.
It's a little weird. I don't think that this has anything to do with like the recent stuff that we've been talking about with like Twitch trying to clean up the site. I'm not even sure if that's what the case is with the recent bans, but it makes sense to me personally, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Right. So from what I'm reading here, Copilot Infinity was actually planning on doing this was a test for PewDiePie Infinity, which is or Copilot Media was trying to do PewDiePie Infinity, which is an endless loop of the streamer's past videos.
So
I
kind of
don't
like
know.
just Bob Ross, right? Like what they do with Bob Ross is they just stream like past
Is this
Bob Ross
his is Copilot Media? Is that his production company or whatever? Is that like
I don't know if he's partnered with them or what's going on. They were using Trailer Park Boys as a test because apparently Copilot Media has the rights to that content as well.
Oh,
interesting?
But
okay. Well, that makes
Twitch
sense
might
then.
not have realized that and pulled the plug just because
Very
they
interesting.
didn't want to take the because we know about their issues with their streamers just throwing shows up there like the Gordon
Blatantly
Ramsay era
stealing,
and stuff.
blatantly stealing
Yeah.
content. Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
go look at Kick. It's infested with that
Very
shit
true,
still.
very
So
true. So
Yeah.
moving on from
There's
that.
others saying that they accidentally showed the video of him doing the PUBG bridge.
no, they
incident.
showed the bridge. No,
That would
there's
be-
speculation.
That would be the
that's not
worst
confirmed.
possible video. Like, I don't even think that video is still around, is it?
not on his
I mean,
channel.
it's not on his channel, but it's definitely still on the internet.
You would literally have to go and find that from like just a shady
Yeah.
source to even stream that. That's very weird. Yeah, I think he got
Yeah.
hacked personally. I think that's
lot of speculation, but
yeah. We'll see. But
Yeah.
anyways, moving on with
I don't
that,
think
we
he
got.
cares.
I don't think he cares either. From what
No, he doesn't.
from what that
He doesn't give a
article
shit.
is saying, he's got like a new kid, like his first kid's coming. So
Yeah.
I don't even think that he gives a shit. Moving on from for more Twitch news. Apparently now we have a edit and share vertical clip moments with TikTok, I guess.
it's pretty cool.
Makes
Or
it
any-
easier than
any,
ever to
like,
create
short
social media
form-
videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting
it-
that Twitch is willing to do something that is potentially benefiting another media sharing site, considering
Well, we-
there's no vertical formatting on.
Well, we
Twitch
talked about
itself.
it. We talked about it. I can't remember when we talked about it. It's been a while. They came out with an acceptable a list of
To stream on
acceptable a list of
TikTok and
acceptable
Instagram.
like
that
locations
was
that you
Vertical
can
format
restream
was
to.
not seen to be as a threat, which is
Yeah.
the most idiotic thing I have ever heard.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's so idiotic because any tool that they give their streamers to pretty much market themselves on other sites to grow
To
their
try
channel
to pull that audience
will
to
pull that
Twitch.
audience. That could potentially pull that audience to Twitch as well. Who knows? I mean, I don't
I
think
think-
it's the worst thing.
I
for
personally
them.
think
it's a
that's-
great thing for streamers in general.
I personally think that going from the like when we talk about like pulling views and pulling people from other content creation sites like YouTube, right? When it comes to YouTube to Twitch, not a lot of people move between them, right? Twitch
No.
to YouTube, not a lot of people move between them, but you do see a lot of people that move between TikTok.
TikTok and Twitch. Because they're two different. You go on TikTok when maybe you're out and about, and then boom, you're home, you're on your PC. Now you're not going to be going on TikTok. You're going to be going to Twitch.
So
you're
it
gonna be
makes-
going to YouTube. So
It makes a little
yeah.
bit of sense at least, and I don't know. I can't say for sure, but maybe they've got a deal going on between the two of them. You never know with Twitch, man. Never know with TikTok.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
don't know.
possible.
Think one of the most interesting things is they don't say TikTok by name in this
Yeah.
post. They actually say
No.
YouTube
Ver-
Shorts, which
Well,
is
You know why?
which is even more mind blowing since YouTube's the direct competition.
No, I bet you it's because of TikTok's business right now, which we don't even know if TikTok's gonna be around for too much longer
Very
with
true.
all of their shit
That is-
going on.
that
So I
is
bet you
very
that's
true.
why. Yeah.
Very possible,
be.
man. The
Yeah.
the smart move for them would be to shift their clips to short form content, honestly, and start moving into like having shorts on Twitch. To be completely
That would
honest,
be
Twitch has
That'd be
always
big.
needed some sort of video archiving, but I know they
Yeah.
don't want to go into that space because there's no way that they could like realistically compete
I used
with
to upload
YouTube.
videos on Twitch in their old archaic system. It's so bad.
bro. That was so. It's still bad. It's still rough to
It's
upload
so
videos to
bad.
They
Twitch, man.
still
Yeah.
they need an algorithm before they can afford to do that, and they
True.
don't have that yet.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
But they do have
So-
some sort of algorithm when it comes to clips.
Yeah,
You get, like,
it's like, oh,
recommended-
you watch Tarkov?
Yeah.
Well, here's everything Tarkov. They just flood you by the game that
Yeah.
you choose to
So
watch.
they have something. They just don't do anything with it because no one really cares about it on clips.
Yeah, if
That's
they
that's
went
a
into the
weird one.
hashtag system and actually like
Yeah.
made it more robust, then you could like, okay, this guy watches challenge runners or speed runners specifically, so
Yeah.
we can start giving him that kind of content.
I
But
don't know.
we'll see.
Twitch be Twitch. This isn't the worst
Twitch,
I-
move that they've made though.
I'm
Twitch do
happy
be
to
Twitch.
see a little bit of innovation.
Yeah, yeah.
Twitch do be Twitch, unfortunately. But yeah, that's all the content there. That's all the news we found for Twitch at least. On the Kick news, we did we talk about Kick last week? I think we did barely.
Very
Maybe
briefly, I
It was
thought.
like
I don't know.
the Kai Senat or whatever.
I try to
shit.
block it out
Yeah,
because I don't want to
very
pretend.
true.
I want to pretend the site doesn't exist.
So apparently, Kick is going to be having KickCon 2023 in Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Twitch does something called TwitchCon in
Also in Las Vegas.
also in Las Vegas, Nevada.
You know what? I'm really thinking this ain't real, man.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Look at their QR code. What is that a symbol
What
of?
what is that, man? What is it? No.
It's
but-
it's a K.
Pop that back up there. Pop that back up
The
there.
QR code's a K.
Does that mother that it do work?
No.
it-
does it
No,
actually?
No, it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
I don't think it's real,
my phone
man.
tried. There wasn't anything there. though.
But yeah, it's very interesting considering we've got one person that said same week I'm calling it, and all you have is a smug smile from Kick. So
It could go either way.
it could go either way.
just be
I
Kick,
honestly
being Kick.
I honestly
their
could
smug
see it,
ass.
man. Like I could honestly
I could
see it.
too.
Just to be dicks. Like I could honestly see them like having literally
But
the
can they-
convention
I don't
center
know.
right next to Twitch, like having TwitchCon and KickCon right next to
Yes,
each
I don't
other.
know.
Yeah, man. I'm down for it.
It'd be
I'm down for
very,
it.
very
Let
interesting.
the
to see.
Hatfields and McCoys commence. Only it's streaming sites.
It'd be so interesting to see what they do with it, man. I don't know. Very, very crazy times. Very crazy times. So yeah, that's all the Kick news and Twitch news and YouTube news that I know of, right?
No,
I don't
that
think we had
sounds
anything else.
that sounds about right. No, nothing too wild and crazy.
Well, let's
We're
let's
still waiting for
move-
Neil to bring us the affiliate program and some live stream benefits.
Oh, one day, hopefully one day. But let's move into what we've been playing. Bill, you've been running Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
Knife
I'm
only.
still
Yeah?
I'm still on the Resident Evil 4 remake grind because that game's amazing. It's a
Oh,
really
okay.
good time, and I I hate myself apparently.
What are you wearing? That's awesome.
I'm not
Uh,
really sure what the hell is going on here. Yeah. Like
So this is the most ideal knife only setup. So the zoot suits just to look fancy because that's one of the outfits you get for beating the game in general. The antlers themselves give you 1.5 increased knife damage. So
Nope.
uh,
So
thi-
there's
thi-
actual stats to this
makes
stuff.
sense, I
there is
guess.
there is actual so there's these, and then there is a wolf tail, which is
You could
very
be a
suggestive.
furry.
I was just about to say,
suggestive
man, like
Yeah,
legitimately,
you could
it's
be-
just
you could be
it's
Sin.
going through us all, man. Like Bill's gonna be the next furry, and then it's gonna be
I
me.
do not use the wolf tail.
No.
Um,
Sin would.
Sin probably would, but the wolf tail gives you increased
Sin's got
increased
that.
melee damage.
Sin's got that plug wolf tail guaranteed. I guarantee.
Oh, God.
The wolf tail in this game looks very suggestive.
Sus.
So yeah, but it gives you increased melee damage. So any of your like, if you parry and then do a roundhouse kick, it gives increased damage to your roundhouse kicks and stuff like that. I haven't found much use in that. I do tend to just use the antlers.
You were
but
getting
it's-
axed.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I didn't go like a new game cycle. I am doing a new game plus cycle where I have all of the knives. I have all of the knives upgraded. I also have like max health. I have the body armor. So I didn't want to completely go in as like the most difficult run I could possibly do. I tapered it back a little bit. I'm not a full masochist. I don't hate myself that much, but honestly, this run has been like surprisingly fun and a bit easier than what I was expecting once I kind of figured out how the game wants me to play it. So I did some research, and knives actually have one of the highest like headshot multipliers. So it's all about just stabbing in the face over and over.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
And then with the uh, one of the knives that you get near the end of the game, Krauser's knife, its bonus perk whenever you get it maxed out is 2 times damage. 2 times damage plus the 1.5 damage from the antlers, and I can probably 1, 2, or 3 shot most of the basic enemies if I can hit them in the head. So it's actually made it pretty fun and pretty fair, in my honest opinion.
Now with
And a
the
challenge run that I do recommend people if they like this kind of thing.
Now, if I remember correctly, when we were first covering this game, the remake,
Yeah.
I are the knives breakable? I thought that they had like durability.
So they
Like
are.
durability.
Yep, they are breakable. Knives have durability. Doing any action with them, whether it's just a simple stab or the back stabs or stealth
Looks like you
attacks,
have
anything like that.
an infinite one here though. Is that
Yes.
not that doesn't break?
That one does not break. So there is one knife that you get for getting all the little like statues in the game. That is called the primal knife. Its exclusive perk is it doesn't have weapon durability, but it is also kind of the worst knife out of the major knives that you get. It
Makes
has a little
sense.
bit more damage than the base knife, but the base
Wow.
knife, yeah,
Woo!
I tried to parry an
Oh.
unparryable attack and it didn't turn out well for me. So it's like a little bit more powerful than the base knife, but the base knife's exclusive perk is it has double the stab speed. So it goes do 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 when the other
Huh.
one's just kind of there's the wolf tail.
Hey, there we go.
Okay. There it
Yeah,
is.
I
man.
picked the right location, man.
You did.
Yeah,
You did.
it's very interesting. Like I've always admired when you do these runs, man. Like this is not something I would do. Like I would go through. I would go, hey, that's a great idea, man. Like I bet that I could fucking do that, man. And then I would get like killed by like some stupid shit like twice and be like, nah, fuck this game, I'm done. Like,
I mean, it's dope because it gives you a completely new way to play a game and enjoy it all over again. So
It does. Now there are a few segments where you have to use the pistol. And those are a bit fresh. There's the super speed on the base knife. It just goes, dude. So there's not a knife for every situation. There are a few times when you have to use the pistol.
what's this grandpa doing?
Dude was just staring
just
into space.
Too stunned
Yeah,
to speak.
they rang the bell. Everybody's got to go to church now.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been a really good time. It's been a little bit. I've honestly learned a lot about the game and how its AI works through this because you have to kind of cheese the AI a little bit. Ladders are your best friend. Kind of manipulating like spacing. It basically turns it into Sekiro if you've ever played that one.
Yeah.
It's Sekiro but in Final Fantasy. Parry timings, knowing when the attack opportunities are to go in. It's been a good time. I've been very
Interesting.
much enjoying it.
Well,
Nice.
we know that the remake was really we or I should say you reviewed the remake pretty well. Is he
Oh,
still
yeah.
enjoying it? Is it still worth the time to spend in it?
Very much so. I think I'm actually probably gonna 100% it at some point.
Oh no!
Um,
I was
I
about to say you took off the wolf tail.
the wolf tail's garbage, man. Like I didn't notice I didn't notice very much benefit to it.
Oh,
So-
interesting. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there you go. If you want to hate yourself even more in the final or in the Resident Evil remake, knives only. Have
There
that.
you go.
Yeah.
Scruffy, you've got a
Yeah,
very
that's me.
interesting one. Tell us
It's
a little bit about
interesting,
what was
man.
it fucking called again?
It's called Combat Master.
Combat Master.
I've
Bro,
seen this one. This is like the ADH Adderall kid Twitch
yeah,
shooter.
it's your movement Twitch arcade shooter. It's weird, man. I only just wanted to try it because it's free to play, and I saw some video on it. I'm like, I just have to get my
This
hands
is-
on this. Just
This is already
Just to
giving
see-
me motion sickness just watching.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
man.
everything from this game is just twitchy.
Oh,
Even just pan your camera does that weird, motion like
oh
movement.
no.
Your gun, you move so fast, your gun doesn't even catch up in time, bro. This game is weird. The zip lines. Oh my god, yeah, the zip lines. I was at one point just jumping from zip line to zip line to zip line. It was just mad, bro. It's a shooter, man. And so yeah,
It's
this
a
is combat.
shooter.
It's his Combat Master. It's a, believe it or not, a cross-platform FPS with PC and mobile. As far as I know, that's the only two, but it's cross-platform. It's
How
free to
would mobile
play.
even be able to compete with this
It's
level
on
of like
Steam.
speed and input,
I have
dude?
no clue. That's a good
I
question.
don't think it can.
Yeah.
To be honest, like there's some, have seen some really hardcore mobile players on shooters, but that's only a
I feel
few.
like I would grip my phone so tight I would bend it. Like do
Bro,
you remember those iPhone commercials where
Sink
people
your
were saying,
fingers into
"Oh
the
yeah,
screen.
it's bendable."
People have
Yeah.
full setups where they have little like nubs, like finger nubs, where they like have like the gliders on their fingertips, and they like do like.
I have seen those
God.
actually. I've seen the like the esports where they do like
esports,
the
and they have like pillows that they rest like.
yeah.
Pillows to esports
Fucking
mobile
cracks me
events,
up, dude.
bro. Oh, it's so funny, man. But so I wanted to mention this game just because I want to meme on it. I thought it was hilarious. I'm not even gonna say like it's that bad of a game.
I was about to say it doesn't look bad, but
it works, which is like the most surprising thing. It's kind of enjoyable, but I'd only play it for probably 20 minutes and then I'd go puke or something.
Bro, I can't even watch the footage right now, man. Like
I'm trying to comprehend my boomer brain. I turned 30 and I just can't, like, my brain doesn't run at high enough hertz rate to figure this out.
Trust me, I tried to play this like in a way of like just like taking it slow, but you can't. Everyone's zipping around at the speed of sound, bro. It's crazy.
I see the spawns are wonderful too.
The
That guy was
spawns are
literally right
pretty
on top
dog
of you.
shit. Yeah. The
So
game,
I think the big question everybody wants to know is how does this compare to X Defiance, since it is kind of the other arcade shooter that's making the rounds right now?
You know what? From everything I've heard, people love this shit, and I'm not even gonna like argue. Like, I can kind of see why it is kind of enjoyable, but
where did you get shot from right there? Like,
I think he wallbanged me. I don't know. It's to me, it's not a real game. It's just it's like a Roblox.
What do you mean?
It's like mobile. A Roblox game mode, bro. This is like Krunker. This is like all those like random FPSs that just kind of pop up out of nowhere. I don't know. Get this though. The real kicker. PC mouse and keyboard has aim assist.
What? Well, going at this speed, I would hope. It has
aim assist in the way it doesn't drag your screen like as if like your mouse, like it's not gonna hover over targets. It's just gonna, if you have your targets within that crosshair threshold, your bullets from your gun straight, your bullets are just gonna split off to the side your bullets are just gonna go in a different trajectory towards the enemy.
That's right.
It's so weird, man.
So it auto aims as long as you're like somewhat on target.
Yeah, dude.
I guess we know how mouse and keyboard and mobile can contend with each other. They both
coexist,
yeah. They both have the same amount of fucking cheats as possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Speaking of cheats, I would imagine this game is like flooded.
It's probably flooded, but you can't tell because it's like almost.
What are you? Are you just trying to like see how bad you can?
Bro, you run into you bump your head on the zip line and you're attached to it. There's no binds. Like it's just you're on it.
I thought you were doing it on purpose. Just
I legitimately can't. Oh my god,
go crazy.
Oh, I can't watch this, dude. Like, are we done? Like, can I click off this now?
Honestly, that's pretty much it, man. That's Combat Master.
Jesus,
it's a game. It's a shooter.
Oh god, I gotta click off that shit, man. I gotta rub my eyes for a minute. Holy hell.
Yeah, take your time.
Just watching that, man. Anyways, so yeah, we move from Combat Master, be the Combat Master you want to be, to a game I picked up recently called Roots of Pacha. I want to talk about this. I think it was last week or the week before, but I didn't.
Part of this.
It just didn't click. There wasn't enough content that we like. I don't really feel like it's got enough to it to really be a full-fledged section, but because this week was so short on news, I was like, oh, we'll try it. But It's it's a cute game, man. Like it's I don't know. It's good. I didn't personally enjoy it too much. I think it's a little bit
But
repetitive in some
did you
in
play
some
with somebody or
instances.
did you play
I
as
just played by
yourself?
myself with this one, yeah. I think it suffers a lot from the same issues that Stardew Valley suffered from in the original, like in the early days of Stardew Valley, where it was just like there's a lot of dialogue and there's not a lot to do when you first enter into the game, right? Like it's a
I
very
gotcha.
boring
Yeah.
game when you first start fucking playing the game. Um, but yeah, essentially it's Stardew Valley, but set in like the
Like
like
primal.
yeah, the primal age. Like you're a caveman essentially. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that it's essentially like the dinosaur ages, but yeah, it's like you're a caveman or you're essentially like a pre or post caveman. I don't know exactly where in the timeline you center at.
That's a good idea.
It is a
Yeah.
good idea. Like I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just don't know if
Yeah.
it's necessarily for me right off the bat, but
Yeah.
it's got some interesting sections to it where it's like in Stardew Valley you were given like a house and that was where like you always had the same house. In this one you actually like this entire section that I'm like clearing out right now is my house and I have to actually physically build a house
Oh, okay.
on that section. Like you're an adopted by these two people. This is the grandpa and the grandma right here. And you like until you have your home, you can stay in their house. But like later on down the road, they're like, "Hey, motherfucker, get the fuck out of our house. Go build your own. Like we don't want you." So it's interesting. It's got everything you would want from a Stardew Valley esque or a what's the one from PlayStation? I Harvest Moon. It's got everything that you would
Oh,
want from like a
Harvest Moon,
Harvest
yeah.
Moon esque game. You've got planting and farming to gathering. I think it's got animal husbandry in it. It has caving. There's like this little section of the game where you have to go into this like cave and then you have to solve puzzles to get further into the cave and to get more story about like what's going on inside of the actual gameplay and everything like that. So it's got like a I from what I hear, it's got a decent little story to it. If you're willing to get that far into it, at least. I don't know. It wasn't my steez personally. I will fully say that I refunded it. I wasn't too impressed with it.
How much is it?
I think it was like $15. It was on sale for like
Okay.
15-20 bucks. So it wasn't a bad buy.
No.
It's just I think that Stardew Valley does it a lot better.
Yeah.
Granted,
Or
Stardew Valley's had like
maybe
5
you-
years worth of development on top of it. So I mean,
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna say maybe you give it some time and maybe they they update it and it gets somewhere, but
yeah, it's very possible. Like once they've done a little bit of updating, because again, like I said, I think that it suffers right now from what Stardew Valley suffered from when it first came out, where it was just like it was very dull. There wasn't a lot to
Yeah.
do, you know, and that was my biggest complaint about Stardew Valley when it first released. Now that Stardew Valley's gotten a little bit of content developed for it, it's a little bit more interesting. You've got mod support for Stardew Valley now, so it makes it a little bit easier to, you know, get some new content inside of Stardew Valley. So mod support might be a good idea for this. Like it really might be a good idea for this. But I think I do think it needs to have a little bit of development down the road. Not saying it's a bad game. I think it's a great game. I love the visuals. I like the art style that they went down. I was really impressed with the little cutscenes that they have. I don't know if I if I can actually get to one of them or not, but
Right.
it's got like a fishing system in it that I found was I actually like the fishing system for this more than I like the fishing system in Stardew Valley.
Yeah, Stardew's ain't much.
Stardew Valley is very basic.
yeah,
This one at least
it's
is a
kinda
little bit
aggravating, too.
Yeah, this oh I mean this one's very aggravating as well, but it's aggravating in its own way, right? Like this one
Yeah.
you have to like keep your mouse tip on the actual fish, but there's like certain sections
Just the tip.
just the tip. Yep, just the tip.
Yeah.
There's like certain sections of the fishing game that like you have to pull away from the fish. Like you have to move your
Yeah.
mouse away from the fish, or else you'll
have to
spook
pull
the
out.
fish. Yeah, you have to pull out. Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to
It's-
you have to play a game of just the tip for sure.
Okay. Sorry, they just keep rolling.
But I don't know. I think it's a little bit more in depth. I think it plays a little bit better than Stardew Valley's fishing system. I spent a lot of time in my entire gameplay just sitting there fishing. I found that extremely relaxing. But yeah, it's if you like Stardew Valley games and you like these kinds of like I said, like Harvest Moon. This is one of the cutscenes where you're at the root of the pacha. You're at the roots of the pacha tree, and you're giving your god like a gift to be able to get like certain powers. You know,
Is this another game where you have to save the tree of life?
I don't think so.
There's so many of those.
Yeah, I don't think so. This like when you're giving these gifts to the pacha tree, you're basically, like I said, you're getting like powers. I think I chose like quicker growth time on my crops and my harvests and everything like that. It depending on what you actually gave the tree would depend on like what gift you were given. So stamina, I'm sure, was like you could do things for longer. Grow quickly was the one that I chose. I don't know what lucky was, and I'm not really sure about friendship, but I was like, fuck that, man. I don't like people, and I'm not lucky anyway, so you know.
Yeah. Britt and her brother's been playing this a little bit.
Have they?
Kind of caught yeah, I've caught some
I'm not saying it's a bad
they're having
game.
a lot of fun with it in co-op.
Like 100%, I'm not saying it's a bad game. And I'm
enjoyable.
sure that like playing with somebody else would definitely make it a little bit more interesting, because at least you'd have somebody to kind of share the monotony with, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's probably just a me thing, because I had the same issue with Stardew Valley when up until the point that Stardew Valley got multiplayer. I fucking hated Stardew Valley. Like I could not stand it. It was a great game, but I couldn't stand playing it. Like I just couldn't, you know. So
fair enough.
It's very possible that like if I got in there with another person playing it, maybe it'd be a little bit better. Maybe I'll go back to it here in a while and see if it's any better. Maybe I'll try and get somebody, one of my buddies or one of you, to play with me. So, but
yeah,
if you like these types of games, it's a pretty good game so far.
Yeah, a game like these I always enjoyed was My Time at Portia. That was actually a pretty good one.
I had the same issue with My Time at Portia though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just not your genre, bud.
I like these genres, but again, like if I don't have like I don't like the monotony. I think that's the biggest thing. Like I don't like having to go and water the fucking plants every fucking 2 seconds, right? Like that, it just, I don't know. Having somebody to share in that, I think would be a little bit better, or being able to like delegate, okay, you take care of the crops, I'm gonna go and fucking fish, or you take care of the fish, I'm gonna go and take care of the animals. I think it's a little bit more my steez, but I don't know. That's it might be me 100%. It might might not be my fucking games.
It kind of sounds like it might be you, bro.
It's not a me problem, bro. Yeah. So my time at Portia, or not my time at Portia, fucking Pacha.
Nick was like, they're all the same. Whatever.
Roots of Pacha. I think it's still like $20. Like even without being on sale, I think it's like $20. So. Yeah, if you like these types of games, you like like Scruffy said, My Time at Portia, or if you like Stardew Valley or anything like that, I'm sure that you would probably enjoy these games.
They're actually making another one too, My Time at Portia. It's like something in the Down Under in like Australia. Same kind of game.
Are you talking about Dinkle or Dunkle or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's something.
I think it's already out. Yeah, Dinkum. That was it. It's Dinkum.
Dinkum. Yeah. Looks pretty good too.
I think it's already out.
$25.
You'll probably have the same problem with that one though too.
Probably more than likely.
$25.
See, $25. I don't know if it's worth $25, but that's just my opinion, I guess. Maybe again, it's just
very positively reviewed with a 92% rating.
Yeah. Like the actual game itself worked flawlessly. Like I was very surprised that it had no issues. So
correction, it's My Time at Sandrock. Dinkum is different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Dinkum's the same way though. It's like an Australian thing, if I remember correctly.
What is this jacked man on
the
screen?
So, with that being said, we're moving back into the news section of the podcast, and we're gonna start it off with the recent Diablo 4 live stream that they had, where they kind of detailed a lot of the stuff that's coming up there. They detailed kind of the server slam. They want you to slam their servers hard.
I'll slam something.
Without resilient thrusts. I don't know. I'm getting weird now.
Okay. So they want to
thrust your accounts into their servers.
they want to test
repeatedly.
how high their queue can go.
Yes.
Yeah.
They want to do all that, but
They always do these tests, and then it's still a shit show at launch.
I mean, it
anyways.
100%.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a shit show, no matter how hard they fucking test these servers. Blizzard is just monumentally incapable of releasing a game
having
without
a clean
having some
launch.
kind of without having some kind of issue at launch.
As long as it's not the Overwatch 2 launch problems where
God,
you
that
literally
was
sat for
awful.
40 minutes in a queue, got into a game, got disconnected within the
Oh
first
no,
15 seconds.
no, it
and then
will
you were back in
100% be
queue.
that. No, it will 100 because like the last beta that we had, it was like that. You wouldn't spend like 3 hours. You'd spend like 45 minutes. in a
The
queue.
most aggravating shit with the last beta is where you couldn't run out of a town or something.
Yeah, dude.
Be like
Yeah, it
desynching
was
that.
it was
That
rough,
was
man.
so
The-
annoying.
And the worst part is it's going to be even worse because this is again, it's a free. Everybody can come in and
yeah.
just download it. So, but they
You don't have to buy a double down this
you
time.
don't have to buy a double down. Yeah, there's no longer any contention between the people that purchased it and the double downers, baby. Yep. So they kind of went into detail. This is like their last big hurrah before their release date, which is in I think 20 days, maybe 19 now.
Yeah, it's getting
Which
close.
is they're getting close. I'm honestly surprised that they did it. They're doing another beta, which just tells me that it's probably going to be a shit show on launch because they're
They
still
are not
testing it 20
confident.
days later. Yeah, 20 days
Confidence
before their
is
release.
low.
But they kind of went into they kind of outlined what exactly the seasons were going to be. They kind of broke down some of the rewards and the progression and everything like that, which I was glad that they
month
went
out.
into it. It is a month out. Yeah, it's like June something, like June
6th.
12th. 6th?
6th.
No, it's 20 days for early access because we get like 4 days head start, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's
So
right. You guys paid to win.
we start on the 24th, I believe, is what it is. 24th or somewhere around there. But
You all paid to win.
they went into detail, like I said, breaking down the rewards progression. First season, they kind of detailed what exactly was going to be. It's going to be mid to late July. They detailed they're only going to have I believe it was 4 seasons a year. So one per quarter essentially, and each one of those is going to be 3 months in length. So it's decent seasons, if you ask me. That's one thing that I always hate about like when it comes down to seasons is when they're like a month and you don't have enough time to actually play the game, let alone do the seasons, right?
Right.
Always pisses
Now, how
me
do
off.
seasons work in these games? Because I've never understood it. You have
So,
to make a new character
seasons,
and then go
yeah.
in. 'Cause
Seasons,
I know Path of Exile does the same exact thing.
yeah. See, Path of Exile basically got their seasons from Diablo's seasons. So essentially, seasons are I'm not entirely. I think it's going to be the same way in Diablo 4. But seasons are basically just you make a new character. Once you get into the seasons for that new character, you go through certain like challenges and everything like that. And once you complete those challenges, you usually, at least with Diablo 3, you get a set, what's it called an armor set, like a themed armor set. Like a lot of times you saw
Okay.
like Giuliano. I think it was called Giuliano at least. It was like the Firebird sets. That was one of the ones that I really enjoyed in Diablo 3. It was
Now,
a
can you
really good
transfer
looking
these
set.
sets to other characters, or is it locked to that new character?
That I'm not entirely sure. Diablo 3, I believe the actual looks were unlocked. I don't think that you could transfer the season characters are different from your main characters. So after a season ends, the season character that you were playing goes back to the normal servers, right? But all the stuff that you had on your season characters moves into your normal season or your normal character's
Okay.
inventory. So
That's
like
good.
if you start a new season character on the new season, but you played the last season, your entire inventory is completely empty. You don't have anything. So you're
Okay.
basically starting from scratch
Oh.
each season.
That
So
that makes me a little bit happier. I never liked the idea of like, yeah, you have to constantly be creating new characters. You don't get attached to any of them or anything like that.
no. Yeah. I mean, it is kind of the case with like seasons. That's what you want to do is you want to make new characters and kind of try and see how far you can get in the season. There's like leaderboards and stuff that you can kind of fight for and everything like that, but they don't like delete your characters. So like if you're really
Okay.
connected to a character and you want to keep playing it, you can always play that character after the season's done on the main on just the basic server. So
Well, that's
they
good at
don't
least.
they don't delete all that shit. So But
Gotcha.
they basically said that seasons aren't meant to expand upon Diablo 4's main narrative that's being left to its expansions. Instead, it'll focus on separate themed content, iterating on the base game and introducing fresh concepts and ideas into the world of Sanctuary. Those concepts includes new gameplay mechanics, character quest lines, items, balancing tweaks, everything like that. With each season, Diablo 4 adds seasonal quest lines and self-contained stories in the mix. Those quests walk you through new gameplay events, tying into the RPG's latest theme experience. During the stream, Diablo general manager Rod Ferguson also added that they will split from the core campaign story. Allowed the team to create quests and mechanics not bound by the campaign, so you're going to see different quest lines that aren't necessarily anything to do with the main campaign. So if you haven't finished the main campaign or anything like that, you're not going to spoil yourself in the long run. The one that everybody was like, I don't know, there was a lot of people were like, a lot of people liked it, a lot of people hated it, right? Like it's very in between. Battle Pass tiers, man. They finally gave us exactly what the Battle Pass was, right? So it's very confusing. I had to read this a couple different times, and I'll try and explain this as best I can. They have two different styles of the Battle Pass. They have the free Battle Pass and they have the premium Battle Pass. Okay, so the premium Battle Pass, obviously, you have to pay for. The free Battle Pass is there for everybody. It's available for all. They have 27 different tiers with rewards like Smoldering Ashes and other cosmetics. Ashes can be redeemed for seasonal blessings, which are buffs, for experience points, for gold, for potion extensions, or obols. Okay.
That's all on the free tier.
That's all on the free tier. That was what I was extremely confused about. That's all on the free tier. So everybody gets the buffs, essentially. No matter if you paid $10, if you paid $20, 25 or whatever it was, everybody gets the free tier. The premium pass is all cosmetic. So inside of the premium pass, they say the base premium pass adds 63 additional tiers, 2 full cosmetic armor sets for each class, a weapon and armor cosmetic, and a seasonal mount and mount armor. Okay. And that's the $10 pass. There is also a $25 accelerated pass, which is very strange. All perks from the premium pass, so you get everything that I just described. You get an immediate unlock of 20 tiers. Now that doesn't mean
you only have to unlock 43 more tiers.
Yes, that doesn't mean that you get unlocked the free tiers. Okay, I was under the assumption that when you bought the battle pass for the 25, it unlocked the free pass and the premium pass. You still have to pay, or you still have to play for the free pass for all the tiers in the free pass. Okay.
Now,
So
is this spaced out like the free tiers are intermixed within like the
like most battle
63,
passes are.
or is it 27 at the
This
start?
This is 27
at the end?
This from what I can understand, it's 27 tiers for free battle pass, and if you purchase the premium pass, you get 63 additional tiers on top of that. So you get however many that is, 27 plus 63 on top of that.
But it doesn't really say that anywhere.
That's from what I understand, and from what I could understand from the actual live stream. Don't quote me on it, because it's extremely confusing. 100%. I will agree with you on that. It's extremely confusing. I think it's 100 tiers.
If we compare it to like other battle passes, they are typically like that, where they have both the premium and the free kind of intermittent. And usually when you buy, say, the premium battle pass version, it'll unlock the first, in this case it would be 20 tiers. So even if it unlocks 20 tiers, there'll be a mix of premium content and free content. Don't matter.
No,
that's generally it is.
From what they've said, you cannot purchase the free tier. Like if you pay the $10 or the $25, those do not go towards the free tier. You still have to play the game to unlock the free tiers. That's how they're getting away with basically stating this isn't pay to play, because you're not being able to pay to get experience points buffs, to get gold, to get potion extensions, to get obols. You're not being able to pay for power in the game, right? So that's how they're getting away with that. Which, say what you want. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing that they're separating the two, because originally I was kind of under the same assumption as you were, like you were just saying that, because that's what I'm used to as well for battle passes is like,
Right.
okay,
that's
I pay for it. I get
true,
it's like intermittently spritzed out between everything that you get like one free pass and then a premium pass, and then the next one is a premium pass only, and then the next one is a free and premium, and then the next one is premium only, right? Like that's what a lot of battle passes do, but apparently that's not what
Siege does with theirs.
Yeah. So,
and then if you like play through the game and whatnot, and you have those, like you can see how far you get up, and then you're like, okay, I've unlocked enough where I can justify buying the premium at this point.
Yep. And I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be the case. I don't know. I don't know if like if you're playing through the game, if you're still unlocking premium.
I feel like they only benefit to do it that way though.
I personally I think that should be how it is. Yes, 100%. That another game that we were going to talk about, we'll talk about it probably next week whenever Sins is Honkai Star Rail. They do that where it's like, even if you don't have the battle pass purchased, you're still making progression in the battle pass for the premium battle pass. So that if you get to the end of the battle pass and you're like, hey, well, why the fuck not? You can just pay the $10-20, whatever it is, and have the battle pass completely unlocked, and then you're good to go, essentially. So it's I don't know. It's very interesting. A lot of people say that like the accelerated battle pass, the $25 battle pass, is a little weird because it automatically unlocks 20 tiers. And you literally only get like an emote. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by emotes still. I assume it's just like a cosmetic thing. Yeah, a cosmetic thing that you can have. So I don't personally feel like the $25 one is generally going to be worth it. I think you'd be better off money spent as the $10, just the base premium pass.
and
but they
don't Cecilia, don't trust them.
What's
saying I still don't trust them. Don't.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah, it's still Blizzard.
Don't trust Blizzard.
Don't ever.
100%. Never put your trust in Blizzard. Like, if I wasn't a fucking Blizzard shill, I would have never purchased this game. Like, pre-purchased it. But it's Diablo. I'm old, and I want to go back to the days of Diablo.
Now, my biggest concern is you all have seen this trend with that EA has been doing with Call of Duty, or Activision's been doing with Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
Where they have the skins that have bonuses
DMZ,
attached to the skins.
I have not seen that. What's going on with that there? Are they actually getting
about it?
Did we?
We talked about it. It's in their shop. They have bundles that include the DMZ mode, which is their like their extraction money in the bank, whatever mode. They have bundles in the shop that include buffs and characters with buffs and weapons that have buffs in those bundles that you can purchase and take into DMZ.
There's a skin set that gives you a UAV on spawn in DMZ.
Or three plate on spawn.
Or plate on spawn. Or a reduced cooldown on your care packages.
That's crazy, man.
Crazy, man. 15 seconds,
honestly,
5-second cooldown on care packages.
I wish that Sin was here and he was feeling good, because he'd probably have a lot to say about it. We might talk about this again probably whenever he comes back, because we'll have played the smash test or whatever, the slam test beta or whatever you want to call it. But I wouldn't put it past him personally. Like I myself, I'm with you, Cecilia. I don't trust Blizzard whatsoever, like at all. I am willing to bet that they're going to continue down this road for about probably 2 passes, maybe 3. I'll give him 3. Right? That's maybe 4. I'll give him this. I'll give him this first year of passes, right? And then 100% they will bring that bullshit out. I guarantee fucking it.
It's Celia.
But
it was not Cecilia.
Celia. Did I say Cecilia? I thought I said Celia.
Breaking my heart.
My bad. But what I was trying to say is, like, the accelerated pass, the way that they kind of garnered it, and they're not garnered, but the way that they kind of pushed it is like, hey, you're little Timmy and you didn't have time to come and start the season out when the season started, so you can pay the $25 and get a head start on 20 tiers. Like you can get a head start, so you're not like behind. That's what the accelerated pass is for. That's why it's, you're getting 20 tiers of the immediate unlocks and everything like that. And I'm just like, no, that's not who you're pushing. That's not who they're pushing it for. They're pushing it for the fucking whales.
I want to know what's in the tiers other than like the 2 full cosmetic armor sets.
So
Is
again,
it based on the cosmetics for all those classes? Like 2
yeah,
full
I think so.
cosmetic armor sets
It's
for each class. So
two cosmetics
how
for
many
each
pieces is
class.
that?
That's so you got your shoulders, your helm, your chest, your boots, your pants, and I don't think they do one for the belt.
Do they do
So
one for the weapon?
they do have ones for weapons. I think they said that they had two full cosmetic armor
Okay, so
sets,
that
weapon and
would
armor
fill out your battle
cosmetics.
pass.
So
Okay.
that would fill
Okay.
out all the battle pass right there. So it makes sense what they're doing. I understand where they're coming from. Do I trust that they will stick to it? Not a fucking chance.
Nope.
But they are saying all the right things and saying that it's like it's account wide. Anything that you unlock in this, any cosmetics that you unlock in this is account wide. You can use it on any character that you make, everything like
That's
that. The one thing I was impressed about was they said that like the armor sets that you can unlock inside of the pass aren't necessarily the best. Like, I shouldn't say that. They're the core armor sets in the game. There are some extremely good looking core armor sets in the game that you can get for free, is what I'll say, right? So they're basically trying to state that like you shouldn't feel like you have to buy the battle pass to get the best looking armor in the game, right?
Okay.
So that's where they're going for that. Again,
I'm right.
trust them if you want to. I don't trust Blizzard as far as I can throw them, and I got a broke back, so I can't throw them that.
Even if you want to, don't trust them.
So, take it or leave it. That's what we're going. The Smash test is this weekend. If you want to check it out and not have to worry about paying anything, you can go down and download it and test it out this weekend. It's probably going to be a shit show. It's probably going to be laggy. Good luck with that. I will be right there with you waiting in queue. So, yeah. Moving on. Another Microsoft Activision Blizzard. The EU is apparently being set to approve the Microsoft Activision Blizzard buyout deal by the end of the week or by next week, from what a lot of people are saying.
We kind of figured. I mean, yeah. I did.
I think we talked about it last week. We've talked about this for a long time. Like,
I mean, it was right there.
There's no way that they're going to stop.
Yeah.
It. Like, it's too far in, if you ask me personally, right? Like, there's no way there's no way you can stop it at a certain point. I think that they had
just delaying it.
I think that they had I think they had a good try at it, but again, I think it's futile when it comes down to how far in they went. Right?
Yeah.
The thing that I laughed at was like they literally went and hired one of the most famous like UK lawyers that represented the Queen. to cover them on this.
Imagine representing the Queen to representing to being on Activision Blizzard.
Yeah,
Microsoft case.
It's crazy. So funny. They're basically stating that they're expecting that Blizzard by the end of this week will be not necessarily owned by Activision, but they'll at least approve the deal. And there's probably still going to be some key holdouts, but I think that right now the biggest issue is the help me out here. It's the Google
cloud?
thing. Yeah, the cloud. Right now the biggest thing with that is the cloud sense, right? I'm almost curious to see if they completely knock it out of the park with this cloud thing, and then like literally Sony pops back up and is like, haha, you can't do that. We found some new shit. We'll see, man. We'll see, though. I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens because I don't think that Sony has a foot to stand on anymore, honestly. But
the EU was surprisingly okay with it, which is a good
thing.
Was
surprisingly okay with it up until the point that it got into cloud gaming for some reason.
And US is still being weird, but we might actually see.
I think the US is good with it.
Well, the U.S. is good with it, but I think they're digging into Sony dirt at this point. So I think the U.S. wanted to full lean into it. So
yeah, Sony brought that upon themselves too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks. Obviously, we are your one-stop shop for all Activision, Sony, Blizzard bullshit. So next week we'll probably have another entire segment about it. Just like we did this week and last week and the week before that. So,
didn't we say last week that it was over?
I don't think so. I think we said that it was over for
it was.
I can't remember.
We said
what
it was going to be. It was going to
I'm
be.
pretty sure we said it
continued
was a
battle
long
still.
haul. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's it. It's interesting though that we brought up this entire thing and that we brought up the US kind of digging into Sony for their bullshit that they kind of pulled with like complaining about the fact that they don't want this to be, they think it's unfair that I Blizzard and or that not Blizzard, Microsoft is trying to pull the whole acquisition to make it so that they have exclusivity with Activision deals. Considering rumors about Konami and PlayStation exclusivity deals have resurfaced.
Dude, this made me
very interesting.
This made my mind hurt so bad, and it's just made the Twitter space as far as the consoles go just the worst place possible, man. Like,
so you brought this up if you want to kind of take the lead on this.
Yeah, man, it's wild, dude. So on one hand, I'm so torn on this. It's like the scale of balance. On one hand, I'm extremely happy that Konami has finally decided that they're gonna start doing something again and
Yeah.
something worthwhile, and
Right.
that Sony is willing to fund these worthwhile projects because I do think that Sony money does make better games 90% of the time. Looking at you for spoken for the 10%. But we're definitely getting Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah.
That was already confirmed.
That's
and
already
it's already
confirmed.
confirmed PlayStation exclusive. We are possibly getting Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, which would be PlayStation exclusive if this leak is to be believed. And we will also be getting a resurgence in I'm
Castlevania.
assuming 3D Castlevania because they still have the like the 2D side scroller Castlevanias. They've still been pumping those out, no problem whatsoever. But we haven't had a 3D Castlevania since the Lord of Shadows series, which was mixed reception at best.
That was a while ago too. That was like 4 or 5 years ago, right?
That was the 360 era.
Was that 360?
No,
Yeah.
it was longer ago. It was the
Was
360
it? Okay.
era. Yeah. So the Lords of the Shadow was the last 3D Castlevania we got. I would love to see them bring again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Castlevania is the perfect franchise. I think if they're going to plan on doing more 3D versions of it, a Souls-like would fit so well. Put Alucard into it
Yeah.
because they have that cycle of life and death, man. It would
It
be
would.
perfect. And
I completely
Yeah.
agree with you on that. And
Yeah.
honestly, like that's one of those those storylines and that lore that I think would fit really well with like a Dark Souls-esque style game, right?
It very well would. And Sony's already shown that they are invested in that kind of a game with them partnering with From Software and the Demon Souls
For
remake
sure.
and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So it would make sense. So I'm really happy to see Konami maybe getting some new stuff out in some of those franchises that have been on the back burner. On the other hand, it's another case similar to Square Enix where Sony is basically subjugating a third-party developer into being a first-party developer
Yeah.
unofficially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
and
is-
not
I get
just
why they're doing.
not just that, but after the fact that they sat there for how many months now, bitching and complaining that it was just unfair, just completely fucking unfair that Microsoft
Yep,
was doing this,
Microsoft. Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
do the exact fucking same thing.
Yeah. And then
Granted,
they also
granted
just
on a
picked up
smaller
another-
scale. Granted on a smaller scale, 100%,
It is.
obviously on a
Yeah.
smaller scale, but
And
still,
I had a conversation.
It's no surprise, and they also just picked up another company too, like right before this.
yeah,
It was an
I
indie
mean,
company.
it was an
but
indie company.
Yeah,
They hadn't had
that
anything.
was
Yeah, they didn't
that's
have
true, that
any
was like that
actual
random
games out. Yeah,
indie company. But
But
It's
I
no
got into a
surprise still.
conversation on Twitter about it, and the argument that the other person was making that publishers are uh, greater than games, and that's why Sony is making a big deal out of the Activision because just because you can make exclusive like third party games exclusive to your console this time doesn't mean it's going to happen every time, whereas if a publisher gets bought out then it is basically a sure thing unless whoever buys them is lenient. So
Yeah.
I
That
didn't
makes-
really see that
that makes
argument as
absolutely no
much.
fucking sense. Yeah,
At the end of the day, it's still people losing out on the chance to play games potentially. So exclusivity is always going to be anti-consumer at the end of the day. Remember that, guys. Like first-party titles, feel free. You can make those first party all day. It's to be expected, but that should be where your exclusivity lies. Any third party games that go um exclusive, it is anti-consumer. Whether that exclusivity money makes the game better or not in the long run, it's still anti-consumer, which I will concede that um Sony, at least for the most part, again, looking at you for Spoken, is very good with their
Calling you
third
out for
party
Spoken.
exclusives.
Calling you out for Spoken.
And that's coming from somebody that had fun with Forspoken and finished Forspoken.
Yeah, it's just this really did kind of crack me up because I had actually kind of forgotten about this entire thing until you brought it back up the other day or this afternoon.
I forgot about it as well.
But like literally, I was looking at that previous the previous one where it was the UK kind of finally buckling down.
Yeah.
It's just like, how out of touch do you have to be to pull the shit that you pulled with Microsoft and then
do this
go and garner
mean,
a fucking
it's Sony, man.
Would you rather
so
them have
petty.
Would you rather them have came out and just stated blatantly that they were buying either Square Enix or Konami or
yes,
both?
I actually would have rather than they, because at least then they're being fucking real, bro. At least then they're being like, yeah, fuck you. We're just gonna do this. This is just like a backhanded little. Well, we didn't win, so fuck you. We're gonna take Konami.
That's true. That's exactly what this is.
It's just
probably the
oh god, dude.
Probably the best thing that come out of this potentially though is the fact that Kojima Productions and Sony have a very close
they always
working
have.
relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see if Konami and Kojima Productions are going to work together on these Metal Gear Solid remakes or whatever they're planning on doing with, because Metal Gear is Kojima's baby.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much bad blood there is.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I don't know
Konami.
how the two. I don't think that they ended things very well.
They parted on very bad
yeah.
terms. Yeah.
So it's very possible that it might be I kind of equate it to the Black Isle Studios and Bethesda, right? Like those two finally getting under the same roof. I'm almost curious if it's like Phil Spencer having to be in the middle of them. Like, now, children, we have to play well together. I'm almost wondering if it's not Reggie. Who's the president of Sony right now? I can't remember his fucking name. Jim Ryan. Jim Ryan. Yeah. I'm almost wondering if it's Jim Ryan. Like, now, Kojima, you got to play nice. It would not surprise me one little bit. But yeah, so possibility. I don't think this has been confirmed. I personally don't see why this wouldn't be for real, considering how closely.
It seems like the source is good, and with them.
Well, not even just the source. Yeah, it's just how closely these companies have worked together with Sony in the past. It doesn't surprise me. It's kind of like Bethesda going to Xbox. I was not personally surprised about that, considering how closely Bethesda and Xbox and Microsoft have always worked together. So this,
and with us having a PlayStation showcase next week, or is
literally
it 2
weeks, I think.
Okay,
I think 2 weeks. It's on the 25th, right? 24th. Yeah, so 2 weeks.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't be surprised if you hear something about this.
Then.
Yeah, I would not be surprised one little bit. So come on back to the podcast then.
On the Silent
Considering
Hills.
the PlayStation Showcase is supposed to blow your balls off.
Your balls off.
That is a quote.
They still got to show more of that one like 1960s Silent Hill. I want to see that.
Yeah.
That one piques my interest.
So
is the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Silent Hill 2 remake, and then I know exactly. Yeah. Oh, I forgot that one even existed. The one with the lady on the boat.
Dude, that looks that one looks creepy and good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So come back in 2 weeks and we'll be talking about that, I'm sure. Please come back. Please. Please.
We need you.
Speaking of more PlayStation news, apparently an unannounced PlayStation sci-fi shooter was reportedly canceled today. I don't know enough about PlayStation to know who the fuck Final Strike is. Maybe you can tell me who they are, Bill.
The only thing we knew about them is that they were developing a shooter for Sony that was supposed to be not Call of Duty competitor.
This is not the company that they just acquired, is it?
It is not.
No.
Okay. I was very confused about that.
The shooter has been in development since the PlayStation 5 launch. I think it's been about 3 or 4 years in the making.
Okay.
And I don't know why they decided to cancel it. It's very odd that they decided to cancel it.
It's probably they saw the competition with Combat Master and just thought like there's no space. There's no shot.
Obviously, once Combat Master comes to consoles, it's all over.
Yeah, it's game over, man.
It's interesting though. Yeah, the most interesting part is that like literally nobody is talking about this. And we've talked about this a couple of different times just between us in the podcast chat, where it's like PlayStation can lay off people and nobody fucking says a word, but Xbox does it, and it's the fucking coming of the apocalypse. Like,
yeah.
Granted,
yeah. I mean,
the one time that they did talk about it, granted, it was like 600 employees, and this is like I don't think that we actually have a number. They say it's 40%.
We don't have a number for this one. We know we had.
They say that right here that they claim the 19 for the indie company. This one claims to be the studio suffered a 40% reduction in headcount. So not still a pretty large number. I mean, 40%, granted, if it was only 20 people, granted, it's, that's not a lot, obviously, but
even at the end of the day, that's still people losing jobs.
Still people losing jobs. It just cracks me up. That's one thing I just wanted to bring that up. I think it's fucking funny that like literally Sony can lay off as many people as they want and people won't talk about it. But the minute that Xbox lays off like one person, they're like, oh my God, how could you fucking do that? That's a person's job. And shit like that. It's just fucking crying, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will never know exactly what this shooter was. I don't think that they ever released any information for it.
Not a single thing.
Kind of sad. Kind of sad considering they were so hell-bent on the fact that they did not have a competent shooter to fight against the loss of Activision, and then they canceled a possible competent shooter.
I don't know if they did it like they're like, oh, the Activision Blizzard deal's not going through. Well, we don't need this anymore. Throw it in the trash can.
But still, that's such a bad like. They were literally just barely complaining about the fact that they don't have the money to make their first party games because without Activision's money, and then they cancel a possible replacement for Activision.
My tinfoil hat theory is that they're bringing Killzone back.
If they brought Killzone back, I would be very impressed because I agree with you, and you've talked about it a couple times, I think, on Twitter as well as between us and Killzone is their franchise that they could come out with to combat against. It could
be a true multiplayer competitor. Killzone is a phenomenal franchise.
The original Killzone, I had when I did own a PlayStation. Shocker, I know I did have a PlayStation at one point. Shocker, I know. I played Killzone for a long time. Killzone was an enjoyable fucking time. I loved Killzone. It was a great game.
Oh yeah.
Was it Killzone that they had the first implementation with the fucking the ball controllers? Do you remember those?
Maybe. I remember those. It was also ahead of its time. It was toting next generation AI.
It was. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Killzone was one of the first ones that had free flow vaulting as well. Was it not?
Yeah.
Killzone was way ahead of its time, man. And I do feel like Sony's been sleeping on that franchise. We haven't had
been sleeping.
We haven't had a Killzone since 2014, so it's about time for them to shake it off and bring it back out.
It'd be nice. It really would. I think that they need to kind of.
Could they do a yearly Killzone that competes with Call of Duty?
No,
probably not.
I don't think
that's
they could
not how
do that.
they work.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could, man. If they would just focus
or even
on
just, one title that they continue to update over a few years, and then another one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that that's one thing that I think PlayStation needs to take a look at is they have stuff. They have IPs in the bank, in the pocket that they could pull out. With ease.
Don't they have Red Faction too? Wasn't that their IP as well?
Red Faction, I don't think was Sony's.
No, there was another one. That I thought was Sony's. I can't remember if I'm confused.
Red Faction was. Or
was it? Was it Resistance?
Resistance Fall of Man was Sony. That was an Insomniac shooter.
Yeah. That one was not bad as well.
It was. I don't No, I don't think the multiplayer was super good. It was a pretty
No,
competent shooter as far as a
but
single player campaign shooter went, but
they could still bring something like that back.
They
they could.
100% could.
It would
And
definitely have
Insomniac doesn't
some
make
hype
anything
around it.
bad. I'm
No.
convinced that Insomniac can't make a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So
I'm sure that they could, but yeah. It just
I mean,
depends
they've
on.
been doing great with Spider-Man. They've really got Insomniac on that the superhero games because they're doing the Wolverine game as well. So
Oh
Are
yeah,
they? Okay.
I think Insomniac's hands
they
are
are.
tied.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's so they canceled another a sci-fi shooter that we know nothing about. Probably will know nothing about. So it's kind of sad.
And 40% of the staff.
It's kind of sad whenever you see
Yeah.
that kind of stuff happen. When you see like a game that never really saw the light of day just get canceled for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little shitty to me, but it is what it is. So
I always kind of wonder how many games get canceled and like we just don't hear anything.
oh, it's
about
there's
it.
it's a lot.
You
There's
know,
there's a lot.
It's got to
yeah.
be a lot.
It's
you know?
it's a lot.
'Cause there's-
Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of another Sony fucking acquisition,
Sony popping
Bungie.
off.
Bungie, the developers of Destiny, have been awarded $6.7 million in damages in a lawsuit against cheat seller Lavi Cheats. I think it's Lavi Cheats. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Sure, whatever. Screw
Whatever
them.
it is.
We don't care about pronouncing their name right.
It's this is the first lawsuit I've seen that actually has like a cheat developer losing. Like
There's
it's
been
pretty
more.
interesting.
There's been more in the past.
Is this
they-
just the
not-
highest profile?
This is just the
Probably,
highest
yeah.
profile, I think. Yeah, if I remember correctly, there was a couple of developers for trainers that have been sued and won. There was one recently for. No, it wasn't recently. I remember the one for. You remember the Game Shark?
Yeah, I remember Game
Mhm.
Shark.
The Game Shark lost a lot of lawsuits too back in the day as well. That one was a big
Okay.
one too. So, if I remember correctly, I could.
This
be
is
thinking of something
interesting
different, but-
considering that Ubisoft has been doing their kind of war against like hardware cheating. Bungie in Destiny 2 has also went into that hardware cheating
Yeah,
space.
we were just talking
It
about
seems
that.
like the
Mhm.
entire like multiplayer gaming community is like banding together to like kind of start a war against cheats, whether
Good.
they're software or hardware cheating.
I
Well,
mean,
it's
good.
it's
Yeah.
needed from everything that I've heard about Destiny recently. It's been pretty bad with their cheaters in PvP. Like it's not an enjoyable time. So
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
It's-
it's just gonna keep getting worse. The cheaters. It's at an all time like bad spot for cheaters.
Yeah, the accessibility is too there.
Yeah, and it's just gonna keep getting worse. So if companies and you know people don't actually start making an effort to fight against it, like it's gonna be an infestation. More
it
than what
already
it
is.
is.
Yeah, I was gonna say it already is.
It is because
Yeah.
it is like. Yeah,
It's
but,
not.
I
It's
mean,
not a good time.
this is good to see. No, yeah.
I'm almost
It's a
curious if this
step.
is just like a yeah. That's what I was about to say. If this is just like a stepping stone for more companies
Yeah.
to finally just be like, oh, okay, well, if Bungie can win, maybe we can. You know, like I would love to see Grand Theft Auto take on some of their cheaters because some of their cheaters are
Yeah.
rough, man. Granted, they
Yeah, they have a good cheater.
they have a good cheat sense, yeah, or
lobby.
like whatever it
Yeah,
is,
their
a
cheat
good
lobbies are
punishment
pretty
for it.
good.
So
Yeah.
I'm not as bent out of shape for it, but like
Yeah.
even with the cheat lobbies and everything like that, you still on
I'm
occasion.
more so on the games that have like a competitive and ranked scene.
What
because
you-
I
what
think
you
that's
saying?
when it really
What you saying?
matters.
You saying GTA competitive, bro? Come on now. What the fuck, bro?
Sorry, man. I don't know about
So-
your heist times.
My bad.
Your-
My bad. I know that you're a mobile fucking FPS gamer, right? Like I know that you
Yeah, man.
you got
I
your
got my,
you
I
got
got
your
my
pillow.
and everything. I
So
got it right
actually,
here, man.
I just
Uh,
looked into this. This is the third lawsuit that Bungie has won in
Nice.
this past 7 days.
I was about to say I'm pretty sure they've
in the
had a
past
couple
7
of them.
days. So a week ago, the studio won a $12 million lawsuit against veteran cheats. Then
Jesus.
this one that we're talking about here for the 6.7 million against Lavi cheats. And I guess just yesterday, they got a 16.2 million win over Elite Boss Tech.
That's crazy,
Wow.
man. So
Bungie
they're
is just going off.
getting money, bro. They're getting paid.
Yeah.
Sony's really happy about that acquisition now, aren't they?
Yeah, man. Like
How much did
I'm
they
happy
pay
to
for
see it,
Bungie?
though.
How much did they pay for Bungie? Do we remember? Wasn't it like
Bungie
120 million or
acquisition.
something like that?
It was a decent amount.
I can't
Three
remember how
point
much.
six billion.
Holy fuck.
Okay.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
a bit more than I
That's a bit
thought.
more
A
than
bit more than
million.
the millions. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's 3.6 billion for
But
them.
either way, I'm willing to bet that Sony's pretty happy about that acquisition at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're
And I
raking in
think-
money now.
Yeah, and I think the online competitive scene should be happy about it too, because the more of these lawsuits that companies win, the better.
Yeah, so Sony's right behind them, behind their shoulder, breathing. I'm like, so I see you're winning some money.
Are you winning, son?
But it's Mr. Krabs' voice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh god. So yeah, that's Bungie. Good for them, man. Like I'm happy to hear about it. Like that's a good push forward for like you said, competitive games and everything like that. So
Yeah, definitely.
oh, last of the news, I think. Nintendo reports Switch sales slow down and suggests no new hardware for this year.
Which is wild to me, dude.
I didn't read too far into this. And I know that something else came out just barely before the podcast. Do you remember what they were saying? Like I thought it was something to do about like the 2024.
It was the 30 FPS.
Was that
talking about the Zelda?
No, I don't think so. It was something to do. It was something to do with Switch.
We were talking about Zelda.
It was something. It was something to do with the Switch. Whatever it was. Yeah. So essentially, they're stating that they're losing a lot of sales on Switch consoles, which is not surprising to me. Personally.
I mean, everybody fucking already owns a Switch already, dude. Where's that figure that I had? They're still like wild and outwinning the hardware department as far as Switches to PlayStations to Xboxes go. So I think it's just slowing down because everybody owns one.
Everybody
at this
owns
point,
one.
man.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. That's why these consoles continuously make new consoles. Is because you get to a point where everybody has one again. Like you said, it's supply and demand, right? Like if everybody has the supply already, there's no more demand for it.
Yeah.
Nintendo has sold over the past, so 2020 they sold 1.5 million consoles. 2021 they sold 1.5 million consoles. 2022 they sold 1.3 million consoles, and then this year they sold 1.1 million consoles. Everybody just fucking owns one of these things already, man. I swear to God, dude. And they even had a year head start over PlayStation and Xbox.
That's really weird, yeah. Because like on this one, they say that the company has now sold a cumulative 125.62 million Switch consoles as of March 31st.
That is a lot of Switch consoles.
So I'm wondering if those that you just read off are US only.
It very well could be.
Because I know that they're very, very popular in like Japan and China. They have a huge market over there in the East. So I would
their Splatoon.
I would not doubt that one little bit. So they say that up from 122.5 million, but year-end console sales have declined by 22%. It is the results for the end of this financial year. Nintendo confirms that it has sold a total of 17.97 million consoles during the 12th month period. So
this is probably, what I read off is probably just a US
figure. Just a US figure, probably, yeah. It says that means it missed its year start sale target by 21 million and the later revised target of 18 million. The company forecasts it will sell another 15 million consoles during the current fiscal year ending March 31st, 2024, which represents a further 16.5% decline as Switch enters a significant slowdown during its 7th year on the market. Holy fuck, it's been out for 7 years.
That's crazy, man.
I didn't think that it had been out for 7 years, dude. I was like, well, it's been out for like what, 3? Something like that, man?
Nah,
holy hell.
It's been out for a while.
Well, no wonder, dude. Like you've been out for a generation, a console generation. Like, 100%.
Haven't they only had like maybe 2 or 3 other like iterations of the Switch, like with hardware advances go?
Not even. One was an actual downgrade. The Switch Lite was a downgrade. Just
and then the upgrade.
Then they had the OLED.
The upgrade was literally just an OLED.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just an OLED screen. The hardware wasn't even better.
So,
it wasn't a better hard drive or anything like that. We need a Switch 2. We need a Switch Pro or something along those lines. And I really thought that Tears of the Kingdom was going to be the like swan song game for this
like
generation.
the game.
But
like
I guess
I don't
we're
think
getting
it will
another fucking year of it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
not until
we'll see.
2024.
So yeah,
At
I
least.
think that they said that the next where was it? I
April
don't know. I don't
2024. Is that
I
what you're
don't
looking
yeah,
for?
I don't know if it was in
No
this
new
one, but yeah,
hardware
they
will
say that
release
no new
before April
hardware.
2024.
Yeah, so you've got an entire another year essentially,
Yeah.
half a year. Well,
On
no,
archaic
an entire year
hardware.
on archaic hardware. Yeah, if it's November 2024, and that's
So that means you'll be playing Zelda
even
in 30 FPS.
that's not even them stating that the new hardware will come out on November 24th. That's just them being able to announce that they have
Yeah.
new hardware. You're probably
My
another
question
2
to you
years
guys
out.
is, do you think that they will take the Sony route with it, where your like standard Switch games, if a Switch 2 or a Switch Pro, for instance, comes out, do you think they will have like up-resed and like up-framed versions of the game? Do you think they'll give those away for free if you own the original version, or do you think they are
Fuck
I
going to
have
no.
no
charge
idea.
you?
Fuck
Because
no.
that was one of the best things that I think Sony did
Yeah.
between generations,
It
was
is.
they made it so that if you own the PS4 version of the game, you got
I
the
don't know,
PS5
have-
version for most of them.
I
Have
have no
they-
idea how Nintendo would act with that.
That's what I was about to say. Have they ever done something like that?
No, Nintendo's
But they
arguably
never-
the worst as far as their
didn't think
games
so.
not depreciating in
Yeah.
value
Yeah.
and them recharging for them over and over and over.
Yeah, I
So-
didn't
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
probably not. Yeah.
I highly doubt it. Yeah, I don't see that. Honestly, I don't think that. I think that Nintendo is starting to see the fact that their console sales are not where they're making their money. It's their game sales.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
you know what's funny too is don't forget that with the Activision Blizzard Microsoft deal,
Oh
that
yeah, they're getting like
Call of Duty
fucking Call of Duty
is
over there
coming.
too.
Yeah, it's on this hardware. Now that we know we have it for another year plus.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be.
I'm surprised
That's-
Ring Fit Adventure is number 10
Yeah.
on
No,
this
it's
list.
crazy, dude.
I own Ring Fit Adventure. It's,
So-
it's definitely a good workout, but
Top 10 best selling
people
Switch
like it,
games:
yeah.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Animal Crossing New Horizons, which I don't think that's all that. I'm surprised
Where's-
Animal Crossing isn't in the first.
Whoa.
Super Smash Bros, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Sword and Shield.
I'm surprised Splatoon. I guess to be fair, Splatoon hasn't.
Splatoon's
made
been
new
out for
game
a
in
long
while.
time. Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah,
so
but-
Splatoon is
but
not a
still,
new game.
That's a big game.
it's
though,
also
for the
a lot more
Eastern.
popular in it's more popular
what I
in
was gonna
Japan than it
say.
is US.
Like it's massive over there. It's like their top game over there.
Yeah.
One of them.
So that's surprising
Yeah.
information though, for sure. I really am curious how much longer they can stall out on this current generation. Like, I don't think that there's a lot that they can do to upgrade the current Switch.
Nah, there's not. What they're going to do is they're going to run into the same problem that the Steam Deck and the Asus Ally have, where if they upgrade the hardware too much, it's going to kill battery life. Because that's the
Yeah.
best thing about the Switch right now is it has like a 10+ hour battery life.
Very true.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I think that no matter how you look at it, that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
So,
So, we'll see
even
what they end up
going into
doing.
a new handheld console,
I
we're
have
still
no
gonna
doubt
have
that they're going to
same
do another
situation.
handheld.
You
I
think so?
I think so, man. Like, I know that Nintendo is very innovative on their tech and stuff.
Well,
But
when was the last time that they brought out an actual console? Was it the game?
So they
The-
went from the Wii U to the
The
Switch.
Wii U.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I-
Wii U.
I forget
I
about
tend
the
to
Wii
forget
U.
about the Wii
Yeah.
U. Yeah, jinx.
Oh goodness. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy to see what they do, because like you could technically argue that the Switch is both a handheld and a console with its port, like its docking port, though, right?
it 100%
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
It is. It's
So-
it's versatile like that.
I'm almost looking to the point where like I'm curious if they're just going to say, we'll sacrifice a little bit of extra battery life. Yeah, it's gonna suck that it can't be as good of a fucking, a portable gaming unit as our original
Right.
Switch was, but we're gonna sacrifice that for a little bit more fidelity,
I'm
or
also
a little
curious-
bit more graphic quality.
So they have the option, since they have the handheld and then they have the docking station. They have potential there to sell a new type of docking station that could up-res your games.
Ooh, that's actually a
to,
good
like,
point.
Like
Yeah.
have some
Instead of
hardware and
instead of
stuff
a whole
in the
new
docking
console,
station.
instead of a whole
That
new
could be a
console,
thing.
just upgrade the docking unit with better with like
Yeah,
better
like have
better
another
equipment.
graphics card in it or like a boosted
That's not a
graphics card.
bad
That's
idea. That's
oh,
That way
honestly,
you
you still have the 720p 30 FPS on handheld mode, but if you wanted to play
yeah.
in 1440 or
You
4K
should
on
you
TV,
should
did you
copyright
put an
that, bro.
application in?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
You should
was
go
gonna
copyright
say,
that, bro. Like right now. Like you all
yeah.
you all didn't hear that. Let Bill at least have a little bit of a head start on that. So
it would be what I would do.
yeah, I mean that honestly like
That's
that's
a
a really
smart
good idea. That's a
idea,
really smart
man.
idea, 100%. And
Jesus, I didn't know we had a freaking engineer in here.
that is a
Moving
really smart
on.
idea though. So yeah, that's
Dang.
Nintendo. So moving on to Twitter. According to Twitter, accounts are going to be deemed inactive and may be
Oh, this
removed
is
if not
stupid.
logged in for at least 30 days.
This is stupid.
It's crazy, man. That's it. This is
30
a
days? That's
this is a
nothing.
big like I was on board with the inactive accounts being removed, right? Up until the
Right, but
point that
30
they added
days
the
is
30 days.
nothing.
Yeah, 100%. Like I sometimes
Like-
don't log on to my Twitter account for 30 days.
Yeah, because like who really wants to be on Twitter that much?
I don't. Not anymore. That's for fucking
Yeah,
sure.
like seriously.
But yeah, that's great. Like I said, I was all for like them starting to free up some of those inactive accounts because there is a couple of names. Like my actual name that I want to have is taken up by an inactive account. Like I would love to go out and I'm not
So
going to
it'll
tell you
be
what my
gone
name
here
is.
soon.
Probably, yeah, probably. But I would love to have that. But the 30 days is not enough, man. That's crazy.
Too little.
That's way too.
It's
That's
too
way
little.
too small. That's
Yeah.
way too small of a fucking window.
Yeah.
But I guess they're looking at it as like most people are on their phone on Twitter all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how they're looking at it. I don't know. I personally don't agree with that. I don't think that that's a very good idea. Take it
not at
or leave it. Whatever, Mr. Musk, if you're watching this, that's our point of view, you know. Speaking of
Step
Mr.
down
Musk,
already?
though, yeah. Apparently he is. So we talked about this a little bit. He did like a poll a while ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about that he did like this poll where it was like, if you guys vote me out of CEO, I'll step down, right? I'm curious if this has anything to do with that, or if he's just tired of fucking running Twitter. Because I gotta imagine that.
I think
running
he was
Twitter
looking
would
for an
not be-
out.
Yeah, I was supposed to say
At that point.
I gotta imagine Twitter is not the most enjoyable place to fucking run right now, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Especially when he's wanting to work on Skynet and
It's
Tesla.
like, oh shit,
and-
what did I
Exactly.
sign up for?
Not Skynet. What's
Space.
the
SpaceX.
SpaceX?
SpaceX?
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing. Terminator's coming.
Skynet. So he says
And,
that he's
and he has his AIX now too.
yeah,
So.
he does have his AI stuff. He says that he's excited to announce that he has hired a new CEO for X Twitter. I find it fucking hilarious that he calls it X. That makes me laugh every time I see it. He says that she will be starting in the next 6 weeks, roughly, and that he will be stepping down and transitioning to being an executive chair and CTO, overseeing product and software and SysOps. So SysOps, system.
I read that as
operations.
psyops the first time. I
Nope.
was like, are
SysOps or SysOps, essentially SysOps. It's SysOps, system operations. So he's going to
Gotcha,
be
okay.
running basically the coders, more or less,
Back
like
end.
the back end.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
I don't
That's
know.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
But
I can
if-
respect that.
Like, what do you guys think about that? Because like, I know
I
a
can
lot
respect
of.
that he stayed true to the
I
poll.
know, yeah, I know a lot of
Yeah.
people that hated the fact that Elon took over Twitter. I
Right.
Yeah, I think
I
there's a lot of
personally-
bandwagon on that
Yeah.
shit though too.
I-
There's so much bandwagon.
I personally think that Elon taking over Twitter made Twitter a little bit better, not by much. Like
Yeah, I was gonna
obviously,
say, like,
A
maybe
little bit.
a little
He
bit.
hasn't-
I just don't. Yeah, it's
he
still
hasn't
Twitter at the
done a
end of the
lot.
day.
It's still Twitter. It's still a fucking cesspool,
Yeah.
obviously. But I think that he's finally implemented some of the changes that we've been asking for. I like the blue
I
check
don't
mark.
like the blue stuff. No,
I like the
don't
blue
like
check
the
mark.
blue stuff.
I honestly wish that the blue check mark
I don't know.
he would implement a lot of the stuff that he locked behind the blue check mark as free, like the editing tweets
Yeah,
and
that's
everything like
that's
that.
why exactly. We've been waiting for editing for so long. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
here's editing. You know, for
But
you.
on the
you
other
have to
hand-
Blue
pay-
check mark.
yeah, you
but-
have to pay whatever it is a month.
But on the other hand, I understand that Twitter is not very it's not making a lot of money, obviously. So that's one way that they subsidized it essentially.
Yeah.
So
isn't the blue check mark also boosting like tweets and stuff? If
Yeah,
I
you're a
believe it is.
subscriber,
Yeah.
you get prioritized.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's that you get the editing tweets and then you get longer tweets. If I remember correctly, it's like
Yep.
3
Oh
tweets
yeah.
altogether. It's
And you
crazy,
can upload
dude.
like longer videos and
It's
high
like
res
twit
videos.
longer. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Which by the way, did you see that somebody uploaded the entire Mario movie because of their they abused the upload rate, quality and length. They uploaded the entirety of the Mario movie on Twitter.
That's
and like
wild.
millions of people watched it for
That's
free.
wild.
That's fucking funny.
That's how you get a lawsuit, bud.
Yeah, that's how you get a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Why
That's why he's
can I
down. He's like,
can I
I
just
be here.
can I just point out as well that we were talking about Twitter being a cesspool, and for some unknown reason, lewdtubers, hashtag lewdtubers is trending,
and no pixel.
and no pixel is
course.
trending. No pixel, I can understand no pixel because apparently no pixel they just like dropped a big announcement that's their leadership is changing over some drama or bullshit that happened.
Okay.
So
But
that's
lewdtubers.
that I can
Yeah.
understand. Lewdtubers, I don't really fucking get. 30 FPS, I
let's-
also don't fucking get.
Let's put some big ass.
What else is
robo
trending?
titties-
Actually, I
robo
probably
titties
shouldn't
on
do
your,
that.
European
You
cheek.
never know what you're gonna see on
Oh,
Twitter.
careful.
So, yeah, Elon Musk is stepping down. If you enjoy Elon Musk, that's one thing. If you don't, I'm sure you're probably happy about it then.
Yeah, right, then.
Nothing will change though.
We're kind of entering into the last section of the podcast. So if you guys have any questions, pop them in chat. We'll try and answer them later on once we've covered everything. As I said, we're hitting kind of the end where we do a lot of the quick hits. So yeah, put your questions in chat. Let us know if you have anything to ask, and we'll answer it later. I don't know if you guys ever remember this this game when it came out on Stadia, but Guilt. Did you guys ever look at this?
Guilt.
Guilt? Is
No.
it? I'm pretty sure it's Guilt.
No, it's definitely guilt.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's Guilt, but it looked interesting, man. Like it was made by a relatively unknown Tequila Works.
Tequila Works.
Tequila
What
Works.
kind of
Yeah,
company is that? They're
They-
all drinking and making games.
this is like it's a horror survival narrative driven game. Okay, it's like a third person survival horror narrative driven game. Okay, I'm going to pull up the trailer for it really quickly so that everybody can watch it. But it seemed like it was gonna be a decent one. The only downside is obviously it was on Stadia and literally fucking nobody was willing to buy Stadia for obvious
Yeah.
reasons.
I bet you this company was like, guys, let's develop a game just for Stadia. It's gonna be amazing. And then
I'm willing to bet
And
that they
then
got
Stadia.
paid. I'm willing to bet they got paid quite a bit to
Oh,
be
yeah.
on Stadia. But
I'm sure.
I'm trying to think of the game that this reminds me of. It's like a horror game. You play as like this little tiny
Little nightmares.
Little Nightmares. That's it. Yes, this
Yeah,
game
yeah.
reminds me very heavily of like a 3D like third person Little Nightmares almost. If that makes any sense.
Ooh, creepy
So,
crawly
They-
spider man.
Yeah, it's got some
Not
creepy
Spider-Man.
stuff in it. It's got some horror in it that's I think makes it a little bit less friendly towards like the younger generation. But it seems like it's a decent little game. I don't
It
know.
kind of looks like, I don't know. It kind of gives me like Silent Hill vibes too, for some reason.
Yeah,
I can see
kinda.
that.
A
You
little
can see
bit.
that, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, no, for sure. It's coming out for, where was that? It's coming out for Steam, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. It's coming out for everybody. I don't see
Sweet.
Epic on there though.
I was gonna say.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
sweetie. You don't get no
And then-
Tequila Works.
and then they'll pull it from Steam and
Right?
sell it early on
100%. They'll be like, hey, we should do that because Sweeney will
Yeah.
be like, no. You were on Stadia, now you're gonna be on Epic. Get over here. Yeah, 100%. I guarantee it. But I don't know. It looked like a kind of a cool little
Yeah.
game. Didn't see a lot
Sure.
on it, obviously, because again, it's Stadia and nobody really watched its Stadia anything. So
Right.
it is what it is, I guess. So that's Guilt. I about said Glide. I was like, why does that not sound
You
right?
almost got you there.
You
Guilt.
did Guilt. So that's
Put it in
Guilt
your head.
coming out. I think they said the 6th, July 6th. So you're pretty quick. Another game that I looked at that I was like, I really actually kind of want to fucking check this game out. Did you guys see this Warhammer Bolt gun?
I have. Yeah,
dude, this looks so
amazing.
good, dude.
I haven't seen this.
I want to fucking play
this.
It's
a perfect blend of like indie and
it's
the Warhammer 40k.
It's essentially
it has that Doom feel to it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's essentially Doom, but instead of Doom, you're playing in Warhammer 40k. So this looks really cool. I honestly, and like it doesn't, it screams indie, but it also screams like AAA.
Oh, I already know.
No, the quality is out there, dude.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this is. I already know Pork Chop's
got the good
love
3D environment.
100%. Pork Chop is gonna be all over this shit, dude.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Essentially, from what I can understand, you play as a Space Marine. You're going through decimating the hordes of the unbelievers and the Chaos Gate and all that shit. You're purging all the heretics, as it says right there.
Visually, this looks amazing.
It's got some really, really cool looking environments, man. Like so far, I have not seen a single like level or like just right there. Like, did you that one little section where the frog or whatever that was jumped down and it kind of did like this 3D spin almost. It's crazy. That it looks so good, dude. I really.
No, this one's definitely on my list.
I'm gonna get this.
Pork Chop, we were
that old school Quake feel.
Old school Quake, yep. Old school Quake, old school Doom for sure. Pork Chop, we were saying that this is like a game straight up your alley, man.
Oh yeah.
Purging the unbelievers, purging the heretics. So it's do they actually tell you when they're coming out with this? I think they do. May 23rd. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's literally 2 weeks from now. Jesus.
Yeah. So we can talk to it on the same day that we talk about the Sony thing.
For sure. I'll have to snag that. It definitely looks like a good one. PS5, PS4. Is it coming on Game
Pass?
Maybe. PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. I don't know where it's coming out.
I just hope it's decently priced.
That's crazy. That's kind of funny that's coming out on the Switch. We literally just talked about the fact that
25, 30 bucks.
Yeah, hopefully. So
yeah,
that's
it's going to launch. It's going to be $20.
$20.
Even better. Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all, man. That is not bad at all. I will take that.
$19.79 actually is the price. I wonder if that's a reference to something.
Maybe.
That's a weird price point.
That's
$19.79. That is weird. Anyways, moving on. I thought you would like this. I don't know if you looked into this at all, Bill. But Bloodborne remake rumors shut down by God of War creator.
Yeah, I saw that. I watched the thing. He was a bit spicy in that because I guess somebody thought he had leaked, like accidentally brought something up about a Bloodborne remake or Bloodborne 2.
Yeah.
And he made it abundantly clear.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sony had him to gunpoint to say something.
No, I don't doubt it, man. There's literally probably like one of Sony's hitmen, like right over here to the left hand side of and they're like, they got like a hand up with the script and everything, you know. But yeah, he said, I don't leak shit.
Yeah,
it's not my job to do that. It's disrespectful to the teams and everything.
He was very offended that people were accusing him of leaking something.
Dude, what was the actual?
That either means one or two things. One, he actually did leak something on accident, and he's being like lambasted behind the scenes. Or two, he's just genuinely upset about it. People took it the wrong way. Yeah,
it's very possible.
He's an upstanding guy. He has his head in the right place when it comes to gaming studios. I mean, God of War games have been phenomenal. So,
very true. Yep. Yeah, I just thought that was exactly kind of interesting.
What the original take that he said that was the leak. Let me see if I can find that.
I don't have that information either. It just says that it just covered basically that he had leaked something. Bloodborne takes rumors down. God of War creator, blah blah blah. Creator David has made a mistake of mentioning it on a YouTube video. Jeff has since uploaded a new video to shut down rumors, denied implying that we'll see the long rumored remake in an upcoming PlayStation showcase. So, very interesting.
I don't need a remake. I just need a PC port.
Hey, give me the 60 FPS, baby.
Like honestly, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Yeah. Apparently, RIP Metaverse. Metaverse is dead. I did this just catch up with the the insiders over here, a Business Insider, or what? Because I'm pretty sure that Meta's been dead for a while. I don't know.
They've been trying to push it, man. And I think from what I've gathered, they've shifted production from like the VR metaverse type thing.
They're moving more
to
towards generative AI.
Yep, they're moving into the AI, which Zuckerberg and AI scares me more than anything in this goddamn world. I swear.
That man is AI generated.
As I was about to say, but it would make sense considering he is AI. Like,
yeah,
that would make sense.
It's
you
true.
know, it's AI making AI. You know, like
sentient.
Did you guys see the video of him with the original Meta
sauce.
with the barbecue sauce?
Dude, the barbecue. Why, Mark? Why do you have barbecue sauce on your bookshelf?
I was watching a video about it, and it was like the person brought up the fact that it was like
Sweet Baby Ray's.
It was
Sweet Baby
an
Ray's.
alien or a robot that had just like done a big troll through the internet and just was like, everybody likes Sweet Baby Ray's. Let's put it in the video.
Sweet Baby Ray's. I want to watch that.
Oh,
that was
God.
good. That was funny.
So yeah, I don't really know.
I mean, we never officially heard anything stating
nothing's actually been officially said that they're taking down the metaverse, but
which
like,
I don't think they will, but they're gonna put it on the back burner, I'm sure.
We've all known that the metaverse has been doing terribly for years. Like it never did well.
Well, it never even kicked off. I don't think.
It did kick off. There's been stuff happening with it, but it never
but it never
got
traction.
mainstream. Yeah, it never actually like saw the light of day. It's always been kind of just like that thing happening in the background of Meta, so or Facebook, whatever you want to fucking call them. So, anyways, moving on to the last one, Sweet Baby Ray's, baby. So, if you're listening to the podcast right now, or within the next 2 weeks, and you want to get Division 2, which Division 2, we talked about this, I believe, 3 or 4 episodes ago. Division 2 is bringing out a big content patch for their 5th year of content. They're bringing out like a whole new gameplay where it's like a roguelike gameplay, or roguelite, I guess is what it would be called. I'm not entirely sure what the difference between those is.
Roguelite.
But they're bringing that out. They're also bringing out a lot of fixes. It's a really good time to be going back to Division 2, I think. We talked about, like I said, we talked about it 3 or 4 episodes ago. That's like the amount of content that they pushed out for this game is relatively impressive. I'm personally impressed with Ubisoft for sticking with it as long as they have, considering
Ubisoft, they have 2 modes, man.
They didn't do it for Division
games immediately. Or we stick with them through the long haul. They did the same thing with Siege. They did it with this one, like
for sure. But to move on with that, if you guys are listening to this in the next 2 weeks, which we are doing this episode on May 11th, 2023. So if you're listening to this anytime past May 25th, 2023, this is no longer valid. But they are having an 85% off of Division 2 for the PC. I don't know if that's the case for the console versions, but yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, good sale, good deal, but that is only the base standard edition. Honestly, no, Warlords of New York edition as well. So standard and new whatever the Warlords of New York, I think that was their DLC expansion edition, also is included. So instead of $60, that would be $9 USD.
Either way you look at it, like to me, the base game being 85% off, that's a lot of content just right there in the base game, considering a lot of their content that they've released over the past 4 years has been free for the most part, if I remember correctly, other than this, I think they've had 1 or 2 DLCs that you had to pay for. But 85% off just for the base level of Division 2 to get you into the game, and then try and figure out if you like the game or not. I think it's a good deal. So
yeah, I just bought it.
That's my opinion of it, at least. So yeah, May 11th to May 25th. If you guys do not have Division 2, it is 85% off. I think it's like what, $25, $20 somewhere around there. There's a less
for the it's $9.
$9. Okay, holy fuck.
for the $60 edition, which is
There you go.
comes with the expansion.
There you go. $9. That's a fucking killer deal, man. Holy shit.
USD, yeah.
This is a killer deal. Holy shit. So, yeah,
And it
May
came with a
11th,
free game too.
May 11th to May 25th. Go and get it. If you are listening to this anytime past that, you're shit out of luck. Sorry, boo boo. Better luck next time. So, well, yeah. With that, do we have any questions in the chat, or are we good?
I think we're good to go.
All right, guys. Well, that is episode 83, I believe, right? 83?
83.
Yeah,
83. Yes.
I can't even remember. That is episode 83.
Remember 83? It's
83, and we're going skiing.
No,
Yeah.
no, mine's better. Mine's better.
83, and I'm gonna if we don't fucking end it. No.
that was good. That was good. All right, end it there.
And 83. Thank you guys so much for listening
on
to
time,
us.
Mind you.
On time.
Yeah.
I was a little worried, man. We were not. I didn't think we were gonna fucking make it, but we stretched some of those topics out insanely long. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Again, if you guys want to listen to all of our content, we do have 82 other episodes live. Well, not live, I should say, pre-recorded of our past episodes up on all of our all of our areas. You can get podcasts. You can get them on Spotify, Apple Music, anything like that, or as Bill so eloquently pointed out at the start of the podcast, anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. You can get all that information right there. You can also look at our link tree, which is linktree.e/prepatch podcast.
Yeah,
it's weird. I don't know. We're gonna have to do something with that link tree, man. I guess it's just linktree/prepatch podcast. And if you don't know how to get to Linktree, just go to Linktree. I don't know. We're gonna figure something out with that. But you can find us on Twitter, all those places right there on our Linktree. So, but with that is 83, and I'm tired as fuck. My throat kind of hurts. I've been talking way too much. I need a glass of water.
I need some warm milk and a blankie because I'm going to
warm
bed.
Milk and a blankie.
Warm milk.
But anyways, thank you guys again. It's been great. We'll see you on the next one. Stall for me. I need to open the fucking stall for me. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. Bye.
Okay, let's go. Get out of here. Deuces.
Installation.